All right, and welcome back to episode 2.5 of Here on the Wastes. This is a weekly RPG game that is based on a game system that I created called Horizons Unknown After Earth. This is a futuristic sci-fi game that is in the distant future of the year 2422 on a alien planet known as Soldaria. Um, in regards to our last adventure with our intrepid band of uh, adventurers here, we got Otis, we got Rev, and we got Skag, who took a job in Cambaron, one of the westernmost seaport towns, just to do a mere security detail for a mining operation. They were betrayed, they were ambushed, and for probably up to about the past 35, 45 minutes, they have been fighting off numerous amounts of enemies, from crazed raiders to pit ferals to an assassin hit squad known as the Blackhearts. Um, just to find out for Otis that he had a assassination hit put out on him by um, his uncle Rufus Titanimus, who is now the head of a city that used to be known as North Black Downs, which is where Otis's home um, city is, now newly named as Titanfall. Our adventurers decided to no longer fight and to make haste into a deep mining shaft to see if they can find cover. And with that, we'll begin the story. As you guys make way and you're on your motor tracks and hover bikes, as you're making a beeline directly into the very large, almost 20 foot by 20 um, mine shaft, you bypass which seems to be the remnants of an old a mining excavation camp, where you can see, you know, kind of like tattered housing, tattered canopies, small tents, obviously some camping fires and cooking fires that were there at some time, though it's you would have no idea of how long ago that actually was an active site. You do see some broken down vehicles that were there at one point, as well as um, very large tracks that go venture deep into the mine shaft itself. You figure that was due to a very large heavy bore miner that obviously made the dug directly into the earth itself, deep into the below grounds. And as you kind of come into it, making your way in, you do notice that it's very dark in there, and that from a different angle, the Black Hearts, the group that are now on Cyber Steeds, making up the pace pretty quickly here, are making almost like a perpendicular. Is that what it is when they're like this? When they're trying to,
Perpendicular.
Yeah, that's
no,
perpendicular.
perpendicular, it's something like that.
Yeah, parallel,
Yeah,
perpendicular.
parallel. Thank you, Berger. Giving the like he's the engineer here, and he's like, yeah, perpendicular. um, Perpendicular beeline, and try to cut you off and make sure that you can't get into the mine shaft itself. Knowing that, what do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna get in that hole.
Well, you're on the back. Obviously, you. Well, no,
Where Skag's driving and I'm on the back.
Skag's is driving, right, and Otis is hanging on for dear life. Rev's on the hover trike.
Yeah, on the hover trike. I think we should just, because it's so wide open and they outnumber us, right? There's like, is it like four of them that are still left? Is that right?
There are four.
They were-
There are four of them that were still
Okay.
left, plus one of the crazed raiders
Okay.
was still that you guys kind of like left behind.
Yeah, I say just.
He's merely just
As
like
fast-
running in the background in the far distance.
Yeah.
He has nothing to ride at this point.
I say as fast as we can on these vehicles, try to get to the mine shaft, so at least have something, hopefully safe to our back if we're going to try to turn and fight these guys.
I'm just hanging on for dear life.
He's hanging on for dear life. What are you doing, Skag?
Yes.
I'm just gonna follow Rand's lead.
Okay.
Well, the hover trike's slightly faster, right? So I
It
could be
is.
like
Yeah,
the one
so
who.
he's definitely scouting out ahead. He's much faster than
Okay.
you guys.
I'm very exhausted from the food poisoning, so my
From the
thought
fight-
process
fight
is
that we
not.
just had.
I was about to say I pretty much was just gonna try to hang back on your guys' coattails for this game, just for
Yeah.
this session.
So I'll try to speed ahead and scout out the entrance to at least see if we can make a stand at the
I think we should.
the mine entrance.
I understand that you'll probably be there before us.
Otis?
Otis. Sorry, yeah, Otis. I think we should still at least try to make a beeline for there too, and get as far away from what's behind us.
Where's the trailers?
Trailers.
I had to ditch them. The DAA was looking for them.
Ah!
Sorry, I was just watching a lot of Breaking Bad. What trail? Oh, we unhooked
You
them.
guys
Yeah,
ditched
you
the
both
loot?
you both unhitched the trailers.
Yeah, we hooked them to get up to where Otis was earlier when he was fighting off those guys
We
to get up
ditched
there.
the
quickly.
trailers.
I
to save our lives.
slapped the seat, and I just hold on and shut up. I just don't answer him.
Okay, Rev, you're probably too far ahead to really kind of hear this. This is probably just a conversation that he's having with Skag himself as he's holding.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Sure.
As you're definitely out ahead, you're probably out maybe 20, 30 feet ahead. You're not super fast or anything like that, just quick enough. And you're trying to still keep, obviously, with these guys. You don't want to go too far ahead in case, obviously, you need to make a beeline
Sure.
and kind of come back to them. You both, the motor tracks and the hover trike get into the entrance of the of the mine shaft, where you notice that it's a very large mine shaft itself, and there are metal structures that are obviously holding up the entrance and the caverns down. So you can see them. They're almost like from what you actually can see looking into it. You probably only can see about 20 feet in front of you. It's relatively dark in there, but you can see the beam structures that are obviously holding up the earth from above. And you're probably guessing at least from what Rev can see, because he can see. He's got his HUD up. He can see that they're almost every 10 feet. There's another
Strut kind of holding it up.
Strut, right? Steel beam holding it up. And you do notice that there has been some high density cabling that was on there, connected to some kind of lights, but obviously the lights are not currently working.
Okay. Okay.
You get the sense that this has been long. If this was active at some point, it has not been active at any time recently.
Okay. Well, as soon as we enter the cave, I turn to Otis and I say,
"Who's coming? Who'd be coming up right behind you as they're coming roping
yeah,
in?"
because I've kind of scoped out this place, and I say, Otis, what do you think? Do we make a stand, or do we try to move in deeper so that we can either try to lose them?
In that, I hop off the bike and I just run for the door and I just swing it open.
What door?
What door?
Or, you said it's a mine shaft?
Yeah, it's a very.
But it's just a big open cave, I think.
mine shaft,
I go right in. I go right in.
Are there
Just-
usually
I run
doors
right
on
into
mine
the thing.
shafts? Somebody's been
In
playing
Skyrim.
Resident Evil.
In Skyrim, yeah. In Skyrim,
Yeah.
you gotta open a door.
Skyrim.
Gotcha.
All right, so I just run into the
so
cave.
what do we do? And you just run right by. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I-
since you just
not
beeline
even paying
into the
attention.
darkness.
Okay. So I say, okay, Skag, let's go follow him. Let's see what we can find here.
That man is faster than I assumed with that body build.
Okay, so
Doing
you're
the Scooby thing where he's just like,
It's like a Shaggy run.
It's like a bus trail behind him and everything.
So you guys just ditch? Are you ditching the your motorized vehicles just 5 feet inside the?
yeah, I'd say we hop off.
Like
because
are you jumping
Right.
off in front of it to venture in?
I would say we go into the entrance, like 5 feet in, jump off, and then venture deeper in.
That way, at least we have some sort of blockage with the vehicles.
Yeah.
Okay. Go
I
ahead.
figure what I was on was slow enough for me to hop off and run as it's moving, so that's what I was going with.
Oh, okay. So you want to try to make a roll on that?
He jumped
Sure, I'll
off
make a roll.
vehicles.
Go ahead and roll athletics. Do you have athletics first?
No, I don't, but I got an 18.
Okay. So as Skag kind of pulls it in, he kind of does a little flourish, and you literally just kind of like light on your feet. You just jump right off, and as you do, You just carry the momentum, and it's like.
Awesome.
Rev sees this and immediately just goes.
Are we
watches
gonna?
him go into the
Okay, I
distance.
guess we're going. Okay.
With that Skag, obviously you're going to dismount off of it and get
Well,
one as
yeah,
well.
yeah. I assumed at this point we already walked
I could
in.
tell you that the Black Hearts coming up on the Cyber Seeds are now really kind of kicking up a very large plume of dust and debris, and they're making a beeline towards you. They're probably maybe, I would say maybe like 70 yards away from you. They're like really coming in quick.
Okay. Well, since oh man, I want to have a conversation with Otis, but I feel like he's just so far out of it that I'm not going to be able to strategize.
Only Otis could tell you where exactly how far in it went.
I'm going to assume I'm about 30 feet. Is 30 feet too far into the? I don't know how deep it is, so
roll awareness.
I want to go awareness. That I don't have.
A mine shaft that's only 30 feet? That's not a good mine shaft then.
Yeah, I agree. 14?
Okay. Skag and Rev roll awareness.
Okay, that's a D20,
Rev,
right?
Yeah, Rev roll it with advantage.
Okay.
I have awareness too, so I roll.
Okay,
with
then you
advantage,
roll
right?
an advantage as well, please.
And once again, do I roll it 3 extra times because of the 3 next to it, or we just roll it twice?
We just roll it once.
Twice.
Yeah, just roll it once.
I got 18 was my better roll.
Okay.
Solid.
I got 9 was my best.
Oh boy.
Easy enough. Rev with his abilities to see in the low light can pick up that this is a cave. This is a shaft, a very large shaft that goes well beyond into the distance. He can't actually particularly tell you how far it goes in, but he gets the sense that it goes very, very deep into the.
It's the biggest shaft I've seen.
Yeah. Skag, you merely make that comment, which obviously makes
what a shaft this is.
Which obviously brings a chuckle to Otis, and Otis as well. As you could probably see, Rev probably sees like 40, 50 yards down into it. You probably can see 20 to 30, and you can see that there's constantly like every 10 feet there's another like beam strut put up there. You do notice that in some points of the high intensity cabling that they've been seared and severed.
Oh, okay. And these are up on the ceiling, I guess.
Yes.
These cabling. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna call out to Otis. I'm saying, hey, Otis, this shaft goes down further than we can see. I think we need to turn around and deal with these guys coming at us. We need to get some cover.
Stop dead in the dark. I think you're right. And I just turn around in place, and I stay in the darkness. I want to say I'm about 20 feet in.
Okay.
I just turn around and face the entrance again. I don't know if I could.
You actually spin around.
Yeah, and that's all I want to do. It's just
okay. So you spin around, and you would see obviously Rev walking your way.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Rev's probably got his like hand towards his visor and his HUD, just trying to scan it. Skaggs is coming up behind. What exactly are you doing, Skaggs? Are you just watching them, or have you turned around to kind of like to see?
I was walking up with them. So I'm gonna turn to Rev though, and I'm gonna say, hey, why don't we take this opportunity then? If Otis is behind us, you and I.
Otis is right. I guess Otis.
Yeah,
would be
further
ahead.
in the shaft.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, why don't we both turn around? Almost like it was sort of like a wall. That way, Otis has the long-range shots from behind that they can't see because he's stealthed by the darkness.
Okay. Well, my response would be, I'm going stealth and I'm getting around to the flank.
I'm gonna just turn around then and shoot.
That's my plan. That's always my plan.
You just tell me how deep into the cavern are all of you. Just give me an
20.
estimate here. 20 feet. 20 feet in, or we like 20 yards in?
I think he should be a little bit further in because he ran in for a bit. So
I would say the furthest I could get in then was 30 feet. So
okay, so you're about 30 feet in. I would say Rev is probably around 30 feet in as well. He's probably relatively close to it at this point. Skaggs is probably about 20 feet in. Okay, so as you
Okay.
guys turn around and you see the the wall of these black hearts charging hard, you can actually get a good sense that you can see like the plumes of smoke coming out of the noses of these cyber steeds as they're just really charging towards you. And as they do, probably within like 20, 30 feet, as they kind of see you drift into the darkness, almost kind of beyond their sights, you do notice that all of them halt, just
Where
almost
they
to a
are.
standstill.
Right outside the cave.
Yeah, right outside the cave. And
Okay.
you do notice that they seem hesitant to go in.
Okay.
Nice.
Like they're even on their steeds, like it's like an uneasy horse. Even though these are cyber steeds, they're not real or anything like that. It's the way they're manipulating them. It's almost their extensions of themselves that they're even translating the sense of a hesitation and apprehension as they want to go forth, but you do notice that they're almost like slowly backing back out, and they're probably almost like 30 or so feet from the outside, and they're just there, almost statuesque. They're not moving.
Okay. I would like to, if I can, since I've kind of gone into stealth, I'd like to, from the darkness, try to intimidate these guys from the cave shaft. I want to like use my augmented voice, and I would like to say something to them to try to intimidate them from coming in any further.
Okay, do you have intimidation? Or do you have anything like that? Is it
is
like
that
coercion?
I have mystical. I don't know if I could try to make it like
that's not gonna help.
That's not going to work. Okay. Then awareness, strength, athletics. I don't really have anything that's that attribute, I would say. Like I don't
what
have
attributes do you
coercion.
have?
I have athletics, strength, awareness, mystical, and engineering.
Now,
Make your voice sound strong.
Well, I was going to say with my engineering, like make it like sound.
Okay.
metallic.
Oh, like a
yeah.
box.
Well,
like
you
a
could
box amplifier.
you could try persuasion.
I could try
or You
persuasion.
could try persuasion, or you could try deception if you want to try to deceive them into believing something. That is not the case.
I don't want to. I'm not going to deceive them with what I say, so I'm going to say persuasion is what I would want to use.
Okay. Because you're going to try to like augment your voice here.
Yeah, I want to try to augment my voice with my, genetic engineer. Well, not genetic, but like mechanical
All right.
mask and thing that I have.
First, roll a d20 to see if you even have the ability to do something like that.
Okay, all right, D20. Oh crap! I just rolled a 20.
Okay, without other problem, you've augmented it in any way that you seem fit. If it's the booming voice of God, then
Okay.
that is the booming voice of God. If it's the seething voice of a spider queen, then it's whatever you want it to be.
The low,
Okay.
sexy tone of Ryan Gosling. Whatever.
Okay,
And
so
go
what I
ahead
want to
and-
do?
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
Oh, persuasion. Okay.
As well. I'm going to let you
so
roll
20.
that with advantage because you rolled the 20.
Okay.
So roll it twice.
And 19 was my better roll
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, okay. So without any problem at all, without even any hesitation in your voice, you just unleash.
Can I say what I want to say here?
Absolutely, go
Absolutely.
ahead.
Okay, so I augment my audio apparatus to, instead of be incoming, be outgoing. So it's like a speaker, and I tune my voice to be kind of a metallic, demonic sounding low voice that says, "All of your allies have fought us all day, and they all lie in ruins behind you. Come in at your own risk."
And
that's
then,
it.
and then I want to let out like a crow, like an evil crow, and go caw, like just from the distance.
Go ahead.
I have persuasion. Can I make a roll?
Well, it's more like that. At that point, it's deception.
Ah,
So
okay.
you have
I'll
to
still
roll
go for it.
Or you can roll deception, or I'll let you roll performance. Because you're trying to sell this.
All right. Where's perform? I don't have performance.
Rolls a 1. All he does is bird noises.
I'm just gonna roll it. Let you roll it as at a normal, neither advantage or disadvantage.
I got a 1.
Bird
So-
I
noises.
swear to God, I rolled
So
a 1.
after they hear this
Oh my
booming
God.
this booming voice that is now that kind of like resounds and echoes and even part of this cavern itself. It almost works like a gigantic like blowhorn out as they kind of hit this, and you start to see them kind of like, again, the apprehension is almost increased for them, not knowing exactly what they're hearing, and in the distance they hear.
And I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah, this weak sound of obviously an individual trying to imitate something.
And Rev just looks behind and is like,
I was trying to make you sound more evil.
thanks. Just don't even try next time.
What are you, his pet parrot?
Skag, is there anything that you would like to do after hearing this?
Well, yeah, I made that comment to him, and
Is that you just kind of going, oh, you're like his pet parrot? Kind of,
yeah.
Or do the guys outside now hear this conversation between the two
No,
of you?
I whispered it because I'm confused, and I know they're thinking the same thing, but I don't want them to hear me.
Shut up!
I want to seem like I know why he sounded like a crow. So,
Gotcha.
How close are they relatively to the vehicles?
Well, I'm figuring that you guys, I'm trying to get this right. You guys got off the vehicles in the entrance of it.
Yeah, just
of
like
the cave.
5-10
You just kind of
feet.
like you just disregarded them there, and then you guys went in almost 20 to 30 feet into the darkness itself. They're probably 20 feet beyond that, so it's almost a distance of 50, 60 feet here.
So, but they arrived as well in vehicles?
They're on cyber
horses,
steeds. Cyber horseback.
Now, did they get scared with Rev's lovely little statement also?
You do notice the apprehension has increased.
Okay.
They have not backed out, but they have not ventured forward even as well. They've even slowly moved back even a bit.
On my own recognizance, I would like to turn around and do a quick shot towards the gas tank on the vehicle that I drove in. I want to try to either scare them off, or maybe the explosion is big enough that it hits some of them. My goal is I'm hoping it scares one of them off the horse.
Do you have
vehicle?
Roll intellect?
Oh, this is so great. Oh,
This
this could turn so bad.
Yeah, I know, so quickly. It's almost like sounding like a crow for some reason, you know? Oh, I rolled a 2, so this is not going well.
So, anybody else want to roll an intellect on this as well?
I'm like, I've given up on I'm just like, I did my thing. I can't help these people anymore.
Okay. Well, yeah, Skag pulls out his weapon. He takes aim, and he shoots where he would think the gas tank is. And all he hits it, and it just kind of ching, just glances out into the distance.
My bad.
Good job. Good job. Good job.
At least I didn't try to sound like a crow.
Evil. Evil.
You should have sounded like an evil ferret and just been quiet.
Everybody roll a quick awareness here.
Okay. And if you have awareness, we roll at advantage, correct?
Yes.
And that is still a 20, right?
It's always a D20, yes.
Okay, I thought so. For some reason, I was like, oh, it's always a D6.
I got a 17.
Mine's 14.
Hold on, I'm going to have to re-roll because mine was...
Cocked? No problem, go ahead.
No, I dropped it. I have ridges in the thing that I'm rolling it on, so it got stuck in between. I rolled an 8.
What were you? Burger?
I was a 14.
17.
17?
17.
Okay. Burger. Sorry. Otis. Behind you, you can start to hear almost light children echoing laughter behind you.
I hear. Oh, okay.
Even within this whole thing that is in front of you.
I can't but help
with the booming,
divert my attention.
Right, the booming voice, the errant shot.
The arguing between the two people.
Him turning around and you arguing back and forth. You believe you get the sense that something, sonically and audio, that you're picking up some kind of audio sound of a distant what you think to be children laughing.
A real crow.
I grab my head because I think I'm going crazy,
Okay.
and I just start looking all around, and just I want to say I start to become a little erratic. Like I'm freaking out basically.
Okay. Rev, you obviously, as somebody who's always kind of aware of his surroundings and situations, especially for your time dealing with these guys, you start to see him kind of like grab his head and kind of like searching around kind of quickly. Obviously, his attention is being preoccupied and being pulled from obviously what is before you. Skag, you're obviously, it looks like you're just probably just looking at them. Obviously, the cyber steeds as well as Blackheart's ahead of you. It does dawn on you as well that for you, Skag, because you do have engineering, go ahead and roll an engineering for me.
And that a 20?
Yeah.
Okay. I got an 8.
Okay. Well enough that you know that there are no gas tanks on any of these things. These are all iron fusion core drives.
Okay. So I rolled to find out if I was an idiot or not. This is good.
Yeah. You know enough that it would take a special powered shot in order to do something like that. Like regular ammunition or anything like that would not set off any kind of reaction.
I think from it ricocheting, I kind of figured that.
Again, the group in front of you, actually kind of almost like stop. They're the legs of the horses themselves settle, and they become almost like statuesque because they all stand right next to each other, and they start to slowly back out, maybe another 10 feet. And they just sit and wait.
Okay.
Wait,
it's almost
I'm
like
so
they're going to
sorry,
try to
hold on.
wait us out here or something.
I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Just give me like 5 minutes. I'm gonna try to be as quick as I can.
Okay. So we're thinking they're gonna try to wait us out outside right now, I guess, huh?
That would be the assessment that you think that
Okay.
unless you're going to have an all-out fight, they don't seem to be too pressed to venture forth and down any farther into the darkness. But they just figured that they'll probably just end up waiting you out. If something's going to happen, it's going to happen on either side
on their
of
terms.
these things, right?
Okay. Well, if we're good to go while Skag is out, I want to notice that Otis is kind of looking around like he's hearing something. I would like to, if I can, try to scan the surroundings deeper in to see if I can either auditorily analyze what he's hearing or get a better read on what's deeper into the tunnel.
Sure. Go ahead and roll your awareness again.
Okay.
Roll.
Rev, there's something.
All right. I'm going to try to scan it. Give me a second.
Are you saying this quite loudly?
I'm saying it. Yeah,
Okay.
I would say I'm saying it. Yeah, it's loudly. It's not a whisper. Gotta be true.
Gotta be true. No
Yeah.
problem.
You're getting frantic and you're.
I
losing
mean,
control of
you're
your
in the
voice.
dark hearing voices. Or you think our voices. In real life, I really would bug out. So
So should I wear awareness or
Yeah,
should I roll awareness?
if you can.
Okay. My best was a 9.
Okay. You are having issues kind of picking up on anything.
Okay.
Everything is almost kind of like sonically echoing off.
Okay. Can't get a beat
of
or a
everything,
pinpoint.
as well as it's hard for you to pick up anything. Well, Otis is here, just going, I'm going crazy. Like, what's happening? Like you want to be able to pinpoint something, but his voice is just booming.
Yeah, I'm
since
just
you guys
getting
are right next
interference
to it. Yeah.
from his echoing voice. Okay.
You do notice, Otis, that the group outside all kind of turn their ears and their heads to you as they can start to hear you kind of fall apart a bit.
Freaking out.
or so to say, or something like that.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Rev, after trying to get a beat on it, says to Otis, not super loud because I'm still know that there's these guys outside. I'm like, Otis, get a hold of yourself, man. I can't get a beat on anything. You're interfering with my signals.
So I look in his direction, and I put my hands down
just,
slowly.
You guys are both just seeing essentially for you. You're seeing almost a silhouette.
Yeah, that's why I say I'm
because,
looking in his
you're
direction.
looking
of
his
the voice.
direction with the light coming upon him. He can actually just kind of see you in the
Yeah,
darkness.
I got like my infrared going on right now, so at
Yeah.
least that's
So I put my hands down slowly, and I'm trying to gain composure, and I assume I could still hear things. So I'm a little shaky, but I'm chilling out because he's telling me to calm down, like because I can see in the distance they're doing their thing or whatever you explained. I'm like, I look like a ticking time bomb.
Okay.
Okay. That's.
You're just kind of like,
But I'm being
making
quiet.
like
I'm
really
being
jittery, quick
yes.
actions. Okay.
Yes.
Roll awareness again, both of you.
both of us. Okay.
Yep.
3.
Oh crap! My dice fell. Sorry.
I am switching this dice. I swear to God, it's killing me.
17 was my best.
Okay.
Nice.
I'll just roll for Skag.
Okay.
Okay. As you're kind of like watching poor Otis here semi fall apart here, like something is really kind of affecting him. You don't know. You don't know if he's just afraid of the darkness. You don't know if it's like claustrophobia. Maybe he's got a fear of caves, cave phobia, or whatever the case may be. Or maybe
agoraphobia. I don't know which one that is.
Could be that.
Or if anything, maybe you're just getting a sense that the stress is just getting to him.
Uh-huh.
You know, you do, even through it all, are able to pick up faint in the distance, down deeper into the cavern itself, the sounds of what you believe to be of a young girl laughing.
Okay.
Skag also is able, or at least gets a sense that it's enough that he kind of turns around into the distance like that.
Yeah, he knows there's something else in there.
Yeah,
okay.
like, something like that. He's kind of like looking at you as well, Otis, but he's almost looking past you.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So his attention has been diverted for a quick second. Like, did I hear that?
Okay. Since I finally get
Yes.
a signal of something deeper in the cave, I zero in on it. I don't freak out. I want to know what's going on because I know there's something behind us. I can't get pincered on both sides. So what I would like to do, I would like to go past Otis, kind of sneak mode. I don't know if I need to necessarily go with it so dark. I don't know that I need to mirage right now, but I would like to sneak further into cave to kind of see what is the source of this sound that I hear.
Okay.
Do I know the guys outside are after me? Or
I think it's safe to for you.
like I know the other two guys probably don't realize it, but do I realize it?
The question, I guess that'd be a question that is only can answer by you. Is that what you're assuming, based on the situation that you're in?
No, I don't assume I know who they are.
Okay. Then
okay.
you just get the sense that you guys are having a really bad day.
Yeah. That's what I.
You
Okay.
know.
That's what I'm going with.
If anything.
Okay.
Obviously, they have made no contact with you in regards to having any kind of conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you can just you're assuming it, at least if anything. I think it was safe for you to assume that they showed up. It wasn't a coincidence. They showed up the time Ridley decides to do that.
So
like you're
we
smart
probably
enough
just
to put
something
two
to-
and two together.
They were
You
like
know.
hired guns, Ridley's hired guns or something.
But obviously from like just the information, you don't know 100% of these are exactly, or you just happen to have walked in on them, you know. Okay, Skag.
Okay.
Just quickly, you as well hear the child's laughter in the deep distance of a young girl.
And,
the dark
Rev
cave.
has started to
And Rev has already kind of like walked past. Otis,
trying
what
to
are you
sneak
doing
and figure
as you
out.
see
I'm
Otis kind of walk past you?
I'm standing in the middle of the cave in the dark, like kind of
Wait,
freaking out quietly.
they're further in than I am. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
how did
but
that-
I rolled for you, and you did hear it.
Oh, okay.
You heard something. You don't know for sure. You just heard something that got your attention.
So y'all are walking over there?
Well, Otis is kind of
Otis
just
is having a
freezing.
breakdown.
He's just frozen.
Yeah, I'm frozen in place, like freaking out because I don't know what I hear.
Yeah, Otis
and,
almost.
and
I
Rev
guess,
is starting to go deeper in to figure out what's
right.
going on.
I guess the easiest thing is Otis might gives the illusion that he's maybe got voices in his head. Is what he's kind of like showing.
So is it my turn of what to do then?
Yeah. What would you like
Could
to
be.
do?
I want to walk up to Otis and slap him. Try to get him out of this
Okay.
and see if we can head on and see what's going on.
All right. Roll an attack.
Roll an attack.
Yeah, roll a d20. No, roll. I'm sorry. Roll a d6.
It's a 6.
I'll let you roll it.
It's a 6.
Okay.
I slapped the shit out of you, Otis.
Go ahead and hold on.
With the hand of God.
You can say whatever you want.
Okay.
Who's the leader now?
So,
Get yourself together. I'm the captain now.
so Skag, who's obviously been having, you've seen him for the most part, has been having a pretty rough day. Kind of just like has a really stern look on his face as he kind of turns around with you and looks you directly in the eye. And he kind of like, he walks up to you, and for the first time you really were like, wow, he's kind of an imposing figure. Even though maybe his personality up to this point hasn't dictated that.
Yeah.
As he kind of like towers over you, puts one hand on you and just goes, smack. You feel your teeth rattle out of your brain as you take 3 points of just like straight blunt damage.
Awesome. I love that picture.
It would be sad if he only had 3 health. I didn't mean to kill the man.
So he slaps me, and my head jerks back, and I snap too, kinda. And I'm like, "What was that for?"
You're not crazy. I heard it too. That's what I'm gonna say to him.
So, my question: you're telling them they hear one little girl, but you told me I heard multiple voices. Okay. And what did you just say, Skag? Just so I can play off it.
You're not crazy. I heard it too.
What did you hear? What did you hear?
I have no idea what it is. It's maybe a little girl.
Oh, there's many. There's a lot of things happening.
You hear multiple?
I hear, yeah. And I turn away from looking down out of the cave, and I look into the darkness where Rev's heading. And
as you turn, you just kind of see the silhouette of the last kind of bit of light from the outside as Rev kind of disappears deeper into the darkness.
Yes. I wanna like kind of crouch down and sneak down slowly, and just not follow him because I can't see him, but I assume I'll call it following him.
Mm-hmm.
Just I want to crouch walk into the darkness.
Skag,
Sneakily.
you kind of like after you've slapped Otis, and he kind of like snaps to, and you kind of tell him what you said. He immediately just kind of like pulls himself together, and almost just like as if nothing just happened, this interaction between the two of you, kind of just pulls himself out of your grip, kind of like obviously kind of squats down and starts to kind of hug the walls of the darkness and goes kind of deeper in, trying to follow Rev.
Well, at this point, I'm gonna hug the wall too. I think I'm too big of a guy to crouch, but I'm gonna hug the wall and just pretty much follow what little I can see of Otis in front of me.
Okay. As that happens, as you...
Whoa, wait, you're on my side. Your whole thing now is doing different strobe-like colors. Like right now, it's all blue and yellow. It's pretty trippy, actually.
Oh, cool. As you all kind of like turn around and start to venture down, you hear the kind of like the loud sounds of a horse. Is it neighing? As they all kind of like get up on their back twos, all 4 of the Blackhearts and their cyber steeds, as you get the sense that they've lost like visual contact with you, and they are now irritated and annoyed. They see even more agitated as they kind of like start to make circles, just quick circles, just galloping around, all of them looking deep into the cave itself as you kind of just disappear. Rev, as you venture deep in there, I'm to assume that you're trying to be as stealthy as possible, or
Yeah,
you
I'm
just kind of
trying
like
to-
walking forward.
No, I'm crouched down. I'll say I was hugging the wall. I don't really. It's so dark. I don't feel like hugging the wall is going to do anything. I'm going to try to use my natural dark cloak and kind of just natural dark attire to stealthily move forward while scanning with all of my awareness and auditory sensors, visual sensors, to try to find out what is in this cave.
Gotcha.
That is all.
Okay.
Sneaking to figure out what's in here.
Okay, not a problem. Just quickly, Eli, can you fix your camera? Because you're literally, there's like 60% blackness, and you're completely cut off in the frame here. Or that works.
Is that good?
Oh, you could have just moved it. Okay. As you kind of like walk down there, go ahead and just roll d20 for sneak, because you're not
For sneak.
miraging or anything like that. So-
No, I'm not. I roll a 6.
Okay. Otis, go ahead and roll sneak, because you're purposely trying to sneak as well as
Yes.
Skag. If you could roll that as well, sneak.
So that I have a bracket too. That means that's with I get to roll it twice, right?
No, remember that's
That's one of my keywords.
if it's a
is
keyword, that
sneak.
means you just roll it at advantage.
That's twice.
Yeah, roll it twice. Yeah.
Okay.
Skag, do you have sneak?
No, and I'm not sneaking.
Okay, you're just kind of hugging the wall and
yeah,
following.
because
Okay.
remember, he's too big, I think, to even
Okay,
try to
not a
sneak.
problem.
So I'm
Sure.
just hugging the wall, watching him.
15.
Okay, you have no problem kind of like really kind of like finding your place in the shadows. You start to really see where the shadows kind of like accumulate, and in the darkest parts, you kind of like make your way into it, kind of stop, always keeping an eye on Rev himself, who doesn't seem to be the most sneaky, as he kind of trips, kicks a few rocks around as they kind of tumble down.
Are the voices getting louder, or are they staying the same volume?
You actually haven't heard anything. You're just
Okay.
kind of like following. You get the sense that Rev has some sort of pinpoint place where he's trying to get to. If
Okay.
anything, that you got the sense, or he's just venturing into the darkness. You're not exactly sure. No
I'm
words
just
have been
following,
exchanged, right? So, go ahead and roll awareness, everybody, again, please.
Okay.
3.
1, because
Oh
I'm
my
number
God.
1.
11.
Okay.
I tried to turn it into a positive.
Rev, you hear the voices again, and now instead of, you can really you get a better sense that you're getting closer, a more accurate radius of where this possibly could be, and it's really just a cave that's just kind of curving downwards. You do
Okay.
get the sense that it is going down. It isn't in a decline.
Okay.
That you can hear the laughter of a young girl, and then you can hear the whispering of a young boy just going, "They're coming this way."
Okay.
Skag and Otis hear absolutely not. They're just too
Okay.
busy
Okay.
just trying to keep up with you.
I feel like I'm too focused on Otis
Right.
to know what's
Like
going
you
on.
just don't want to lose
Yeah.
going into the darkness. You don't want to be able to lose that vision.
At this point, I feel
Yeah.
like the only, all I have is whatever little light is reflecting off
Right.
of his clothes fabric. So that's what I'm kind of
Okay.
focused on.
Yeah, that's what
Well,
I
now
was
that I've finally got a specific couple of voices and a little bit of knowledge of what's down there, I would like to, with my little sidekick, quietly dial in both guys to say, "Hey, I got 2 signals, one little girl, one little boy. There's somebody in here. I think we need to either find out who they are or at least make contact so we know that this isn't some larger colony that's going to take us out or something."
freaking
Am I
out again. I forgot. Knowing I just heard
Mhm.
Rev's voice, it still freaks me out. So I stop,
Okay.
dead in the dark again, and like I'm starting to get anxious again. because the voice I'm associating with that.
Otis
Even
and
though I
Skag-
know it's Rev.
Right. Otis and Skag roll awareness.
At this point, I feel like I'm just gonna bump into Otis.
7. 7.
Shit, I have to do it again. 11.
Okay.
You know what?
You.
Sorry.
Otis kind of stops on a dime the moment that he hears the incoming message. Skag, as he's coming up behind, sees Otis kind of stop abruptly, and kind of stops as well, puts his hand on you, almost going to trip over you, but sees you at the last second, and just kind of puts a firm arm on your back.
Okay. I think that helps me calm down.
Yeah, I maybe it works kind of as a two-pronged thing. He's using you to hold him up so he doesn't trip over you, and you take it as a comforting hand.
Okay.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
I'm just confused, like, what?
Thanks.
Since I hear no response from either of these guys, I go, hey, you copy. I got 2 signals down here. You guys with me or what?
What are we gonna do about the guys behind us, though?
And then I start to freak out even more because now I hear Skag in front of me and in my ears.
What is... I feel like we need a nightlight for this
I
guy.
was gonna say, if you put Otis in the dark, he just loses all senses.
Oh my god.
We need I'm gonna make sure we clip that. We're gonna need a nightlight for this guy.
Oh my god. Okay. Since I still haven't heard anything from these people, all I hear is freaking out behind me.
You just hear.
I actually want to turn around.
Like some muffling, freaking.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Wait,
obviously,
you
they're smart enough not to obviously be extremely
Shout
loud
out
or
or
anything like that.
Well, yeah, did my transmission not go through?
No, you did hear. You heard Skag reply. He said, he goes, what are we gonna do about the guys that are behind us still?
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I did hear that. Well, I don't know. I hate being between two unknown entities. So my instinct is to move towards the weaker one to at least either take it out or at least find out what it is. So I want to move deeper. So that's what I want to do.
We're about to fight some kids. Let's go.
Okay. I guess Skag, you hear in some semblance of how he's describing that, as he just rather venture forward into the darkness, and not worry too much about what's behind.
With that, then I'd like to reply, all right, Roger, we'll continue forward, and then kind of nudge Otis, give him just a little push forward.
Okay.
And I continue forward, sneaking down then at the same speed as I was before, like nothing phased me. I'm trying to play it off. The comforting, the hand on the back.
Yeah, the whole time Skag's just got his hand on the back, trying to stay with you.
All right.
I feel like at this point it's too dark, so I probably need my hand now on you.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
And obviously you need my hand on you as well.
yes, I need the comfort. And I want to head towards Rev.
With that again, roll awareness one more time for me, please.
Okay.
4?
11.
9 was my best.
Okay.
Wow. Skag.
4, 11, and 9?
Yep.
Yeah, I had 9. Skag had 11.
Okay. Skag, in the distance, you as you're kind of like all slowly moving, like one foot in front of the other, Rev a little bit in front of you, you can kind of hear almost a little bit of like ground moving or rocks being shifted and stuff into the distance a bit. It's hard for you to really kind of get the sense if it's just the earth around you settling, or is there something behind you, or is there something that obviously that could be moving on the above surface above you or stuff like that. But you do get the kind of sense that it could be deeper down, and you hear into the distance what you believe you can make out to is, "Hurry this way, they'll be coming." And then laughter.
And then I just go, "Oh shit, Otis! You'll never guess what I just heard."
You're saying this at regular volume, or
No. At this point, then that would have been whispers, by the way. I'm gonna keep
At this
pushing
point, if you're
Otis
whispering,
forward.
you're only telling it
Yeah.
to Otis because you're not obviously you're not on open comms.
Yeah. So I whisper that to Otis, and I kind of still give him a nudge forward, and I'm like, "Go towards the voice if you can
what do
hear."
you, what do you hear? What do you hear?
Sounded like a disgruntled girl telling me to follow her. They're coming.
Disgruntled?
Was not a very ugly child's voice. So
Rev,
Should we?
You're starting to hear like a
Yeah,
little
I'm
bit of
talking
back and
regular
forth
volume.
between these two. Not
Okay.
you can't make out what they're really saying because they're trying to like be hushed, but
Uh-huh.
because they're over the top, they're right next to each other while they're moving. Still, it's you get the sense that they're having some kind of
There's some sort of agitation.
agitation
Okay.
between the two of them. Yeah.
I would like to turn around and go back to these two guys because I can't focus on what's going on with all
There's something down there. I
Okay,
just shouted
you
out.
you easily hear that as it now echoes through the caverns itself.
Okay.
So if
I
there was
walk
any
up-
if there was any sneaking, it is long since been
it's
out the
gone.
window.
Right. Okay. So I walk up to Otis. I'm like, dude, you need to calm down. I give him my Zippo lighter. I turn it on and say, here's some light.
I take it.
I know it's dark in here. Just pull yourself together. I'm going to go to try to make contact because these are kids. There's nothing to be afraid of. I want to move forward and try to make contact. So
I
you
follow.
stay with me or follow me. I don't
I
care.
hold the lighter in front of me and I follow. I don't know how long this thing will last, but I got my finger on the button. I'm letting it burn.
I thought it was a Zippo.
Yeah, it's a little Zippo lighter. Yeah.
You don't need to hold your finger, man. You're good. Calm down. Let go of it.
Just just snap that little flint. Okay, so as Rev kind of hands you this old world Zippo lighter, you kind of take a look at it. Obviously, Rev kind of gives you an idea of how it works, and you try to hit some kind of button. And he's like, no, and you just kind of hit it, and it illuminates the flame, kind of like snaps to life in front of you, and it probably it starts to cast shadows and illuminate off the cavern walls itself. And as you kind of like hold it and you can see Rev in front of you, you see the silhouette of two young children coming up behind Rev that you would have
And
not seen unless
I want to say that I have a look of terror on my face.
Rev has his back towards these people.
Yeah. And I just start pointing like at Rev, but like on the ground, like towards the ground behind Rev, but it's at Rev. So maybe, I don't know. But, I'm speechless. I look like I saw a ghost.
Okay. Well, if he's pointing behind me, I'm going to slowly turn to see what's got him all riled up.
Okay.
So I turn towards these two.
Skag, do you kind of just look into the distance?
No,
as
at
well?
this point, I noticed the kids, I believe, but I'm not going to make any sudden movements.
Okay.
I don't want to alert anyone.
Because you're essentially behind him, you can see silhouette shadows that are now kind of emerging and coming in towards the light. So you get outlines of what you have to take a look at as possibly children because they probably look like they're under, 4 feet and under.
Okay.
Okay. As Rev kind of turns around, he is met and greeted with the emergent shadows now coming into the light themselves. But they don't come fully into the light. They stop right as the radius of the light itself. And two voices come out. And they merely, from the darkness itself and the shadows, they just go, "It's dangerous here for you. You should come, follow us. Before they come."
Who?
Those.
Yeah. What are those?
Those who feed in the caves.
And then, oh boy.
Children have piqued my interest now.
Yeah.
Feet in the caves.
Oh.
Well, Rev would like to approach very slowly and cautiously to these two children and say, "Hey, are your parents around? Are there any adults? Why are you here by yourselves?"
The young, what you would believe to be like the young voice of a young girl, kind of takes a step forward, and you can kind of see her a bit more now.
Mm-hmm.
And she puts out her hands to you. And what you see is probably a young girl that's probably around like 10 or 11. She's scarred and torn. She's flesh and bones, but like half of her body is augmented.
Oh.
She is a fusion of what you believe, just taking a look at it, and you've kind of seen these people before, is they use augments and cybernetic parts in order to keep people alive.
Okay.
For her, she's almost half robot. And for the other parts that you still see a scarred but a very innocent young girl with ratted blonde hair on one side as she emerges, and she still kind of like with an innocence smiles towards you. And she has one cybernetic eye.
Uh-huh.
That obviously has been replaced by cyber optics, and one eye that is still a very nice hazel green. And she kind of puts out her hands to you, and her hair is like tied up onto one side, like in a little ponytail. And the rest of her body, now that you can see, is like the rest of her face is cybernetic parts. Her arm had been replaced, as well as her leg. And the young boy emerges, and he's almost the same thing. He has very kind of short, brownish, dirty hair, but his whole almost torso has been replaced with cybernetic parts as he's lost his legs. He, in turn, they're just wearing ratted, torn clothes, but they both kind of look at you and smile. And you can kind of really kind of feel an innocent in a gaze, and that they don't fear the darkness, but they fear something else.
Okay.
As they
Well,
go-
Rev, I'm sorry. Can I
Yep.
interact with them? Rev is like, as soon as he sees that they're not like zombies or anything crazy. They're just part machine, kind of like he is. He is instantly wants to protect them. So
Okay.
Rev goes down on one knee. She's reaching towards him, and he like kind of holds out his hand because he wants to protect them, save them, help them from
Right.
whatever's trying to feed or whatever is scary. He wants to help them.
I
Okay,
nudge
so-
Skag.
So you kind of
I
like
hit
hold
Skag.
her hand. You kind of
Yeah. So she reaches out, and I grab her hand, and
Okay.
we'll protect you, kind
I
of
want to
thing.
nudge Skag, and I'm like, did she say they're beasts?
And I'm gonna say I think so. Also, I think they were made to be minors here. Am I able to make that deduction?
like miners.
Yeah, like I
No.
feel like they're slaves. I'm not allowed to make that deduction, or they're not.
No, I'm just merely saying that's not
Okay.
the cases.
I just assumed since I figured with
Right.
the robot parts they kept the children alive for slave labor. Maybe
Right.
that's what I would have done.
Yeah, you do know that usually with like anybody that is miner, that they would be dress appropriate for heavy dig mining. These are just they look like they're just children who had escaped into the safety of the cave themselves.
All right.
Okay, so with that, you kind of Rev kneels down, puts his hand into the young girl's, and she goes, "What's your name?"
My name is Rev. What is your name, little girl?
She kind of like bows to her, and she goes, "My name's Sarai." And she goes, "And here's my brother. His name is Blake."
Sarai. How do you spell Sarai? Sorry.
Sarai.
Sarai. Thank you. Sarai and Blake.
How do you spell Blake?
Sorry, I just want to write down the names so I don't forget them.
How do you spell Blake? Deltaco.
Okay. Next question. How do you make those letters?
Okay. So she says her name is Sarai. I said, "Don't worry, Sarai. Blake, we're gonna get you out of here."
I look
And she
I
goes,
look cautiously
Mhm.
at them. I don't say anything, but I cross my arms and I stare cautious. Well, I can't cross my arms. I use one arm and I hold myself and I look cautiously as I hold the lighter at them.
Okay.
At that point, I'd like to tap on Otis and say, "What do you like?" Whisper, just between us.
Right.
I want to say, what's going on in your head right now? I want to know what his thoughts are about this case.
I don't trust them.
I think we're on the same page.
Okay. So you're
But I
you
whisper.
both are
Just
pretty
whisper.
apprehensive about it. Rev is Rev is very
I'm not apprehending.
Yeah.
These are little people.
Right.
I'm helping them. I don't
Yeah.
I know,
care what.
Rev's like running with them hand in hand, and we're just like, well, I don't trust this.
okay. Sarai kind of takes a look at both of is you guys as well, and she kind of you get the sense that her and Blake know that you're a bit standoffish and apprehensive, where obviously Rev seems very accommodating and very friendly. Sarai kind of leans in, gets closer to you, Rev,
Mm-hmm.
and she goes, "Are you the ones that Rose sent?"
And I ask,
You said Rose.
yeah, and I say, who is Rose?
She goes, "Rose." She goes, "She left like some time ago. She ventured out into the world above, looking for help. She said she would return with people who could help and protect us. Are you those?"
Oh, I've never met Rose, Sarai, but we're here to protect you.
She goes, "You're the only ones who have ventured down into these caverns."
Are you two alone? Is there anyone else here?
She goes, "No."
All right.
She goes, "There's many of us."
There's many of you. How many of you are there down here?
And you see her kind of like look, and she looks at Blake, and Blake's like, and they kind of like, 200?
Oh, are
They all like you?
Did you say that out loud?
Yeah, yeah.
And she goes, "No." She goes, "Most of us are young. There's some who are grown up. Rose was a grown up, and
No,
we always have mother."
We always have.
We always have mother.
And I ask, was Rose your mother?
No.
Okay.
We looked at Rose like an older sister.
Okay. I'm gonna turn around and look at Skag and Otis, and I'm like, we gotta go find out who's down here, because if there's like a colony down here, we could get away from all these people chasing us, and maybe we can help these people get out of here.
Well, I'm gonna look at Rev and say, we should find out who Mother is, but Otis and I have a bad feeling about these kids. An uneasy feeling. How about that?
Okay.
Blake
Blake
walks directly up to Otis and extends his hand out.
Boom! And Skag just hits it out of nowhere. Not in my ballpark.
You slap Blake. You do slap what seems to be like a cybernetic hand, so it doesn't necessarily affect him. But he initially just jumps back. He jumps back and he hides behind Sarai, and you can hear him just kind of whispering. As now Sarai's even taken back. She even kind of pulls her hand away from you. She goes, "You're not here to protect us at all."
As soon as he slaps away Blake, Rev gets right into Skag's face. They say, "Hey, you touch another little kid like that, I will take your head off."
Hey, man.
Okay.
I understand, but this is not a normal situation that we should have been with children here. We got to be very careful.
I understand, but don't you lay a hand on these kids.
Maybe they got money.
Well, you know what? That is true.
What?
I mean, a minute ago, Rev, we were going to fight these kids. Why not just take their money?
I was
They're
never
kids.
gonna fight the kids. I'm trying to help these kids. What are you guys talking about?
I don't think I'm on the same page
yeah.
here.
The two children kind of like tug on the back of Rev's coat. They're just like, "What is money?"
I just let out.
I turned back to Skag.
Oh, that's right. I fucking used it.
We got paid. There's no money that we're gonna find down here. So
Checks.
checks.
It's a
Okay.
mine. You never know.
While you guys are having this nice conversation, roll awareness.
Okay. All right.
Oh boy. 1.
10.
I got an 18.
Okay. While you guys are kind of having this little disagreement between the two of you, and like Blake and Sarai are like, they're almost they've taken interest in Rev, maybe because of his just like his general caringness, and is willing to kind of fight even obviously people that he's even grouping with, they kind of like stand behind him, you know, not like hiding or anything like that. They've just taken position as if to say, this is our champion. Like, if this is going to go any farther, like, we'll kind of like...
We'll hide behind this guy.
We're in agreements with him. You start to hear into the distance. This would be for Rev.
Mm-hmm.
Almost high-speed scampering.
Scampering, like little legs scampering?
Deep into the... farther into the...
Okay.
Just Rev? Just Rev?
Just Rev.
Okay.
Okay, so as soon as I hear that, I go, shh. And I turn to Sarai and I go, who are the feeders again? Was that what she called them, feeders? She said something about feeders.
So she looks up to you. Her and Blake both turn their back. And they've both also heard the sounds into the distance. And they go, they're coming. We should go.
Who's coming? Who's coming?
There's feeders or something, man. We need to... We don't know anything about this place. I say we follow these kids to get away from ever that sound I just heard is.
She goes, the blind ones, the ghosts.
The ghosts? That's what we're hearing? Is that what she's saying?
That's
a blind ghost.
That's what she just goes, the blind ones, the ghosts.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to say to Skagano's, I don't know what you two guys are doing,
Let's
but
go.
I'd rather
Let's go.
follow these kids than stick around and find out what these little feeders are or the blind ones are.
I don't want to deal with any blind ghosts. We'll talk about this money later. Let's go.
Okay.
But
All right. So
Blake does
I
walk-
turn to Sarai and say, lead on. We need to get out of here.
As they kind of like turn, Blake does kind of look to Otis because he does get the sense that Otis is really like on edge and apprehensive. He goes, you don't have to worry about the other ones. They dare not venture in here. You know,
other one.
the ones on the four-legged beasts outside the cave.
How do you know that?
She goes, this is our home.
So they've never come in here.
No one dares venture in here. You were the first. That's why we thought you were the ones that Rose has sent. The ones to help
I walk in
fight.
the direction that I
The ones
assume
to
that they're going to
protect.
go. I walk towards the direction in the darkness that I assume that they're going to head.
Okay.
And I follow suit at this
I
point.
want you all to roll athletics.
Athletics. Okay.
17. Finally.
1738. Psych, I got a 3.
10.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a 10.
Okay.
As you guys you have that exchange, and he tells you that they won't venture forth. Both Sarai and Blake look at each other. They turn and they just explode in a dust storm into the darkness, like double the speed of a human running, and mostly because Rev gets a sense that they have cybernetic parts.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Wow.
especially Blake, his whole torso had been replaced by that. Like his ability to move is quick, and now you get the
Sweet.
sense that this
Flex
is
my
the
kid.
reason why they can kind of traverse quickly within the caves themselves. Otis sees this and immediately just goes, okay, and just takes off before even Rev and Skag even knows what's going on. Skag even he wants to move, but his legs just kind of like give out a bit. It's just like he has to like kind of shake him off and just kind of like doom 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 doom. And Rev as well kind of takes off. You're trying to do your best too. Are you still holding the lighter as
Yes.
you're going? Okay, so you're almost like the Olympic torching through this darkness.
Yes. Yes. Awesome.
Enough for the Rev and Skag to at least get a visual sign of representation where you're at. You start to kind of go down as you kind of go deeper in. It's hard for you to kind of like pick up where exactly in regard to like kind of spatial recognition of where you're actually at or awareness. You do know that you've made a turn, and one kind of feels like it's a loop as Otis, you're trying to stay with these kids, and every now and then they kind of like turn around and they're like running backwards. They're like, come, faster, faster. As you kind of go, you can hear the grunting and groaning of Skag in the back, just trying to keep up, as well as
along.
like Rev, just his legs just going as fast as humanly possible. You get to a point where the two kids stop abruptly, and they stop in a very, very large cavern itself. You can kind of get a sense that there's no other corridors to kind of go left or right that earn your direct spatial recognition and awareness. That it's kind of like a larger like alcove that could branch out into deeper parts as they kind of turn around and kind of wait for the other two gentlemen to come up. And what are you guys doing when you do that?
I stop with them, right? I assume.
Yeah, you're like right with them.
Okay.
As they kind of just they're turning around, just looking and waiting for the rest of you guys to come.
I have been trying to make sure I know that Skag had a hard time behind me. I try to kind of split the difference so I make sure that nobody gets lost in here.
Mm-hmm.
So I've kind of slowed down my cybernetic legs to make sure Skag doesn't get lost in the caves. But then once we catch up, I say to Sarai, "Is it safe here? Where are we?"
She kind of comes up to you, and you can now see her even better in the nice radius of light that has been given by Otis and his Zippo lighter. And she looks up to you, and she just goes, "It's never safe here. We need to continue to keep moving, but we're waiting for your big friend." And then, as you're coming, Skag.
Yeah, don't fat shame me.
Rev's gonna like turn to Skag. Is like, "Do you need me to carry you, man?" I mean,
Agitated, I'd say. I hope that's a joke. But as you can tell in my eyes that I kind of want that. At this point, I think it's safe to say I'm going to try to pick up the pace.
Okay. As that happens, Blake stops you and kind of tugs on Otis. He looks down and he just goes.
Okay,
Sarai,
I follow. All
Sarai
right.
looks at Rev and as well as Skag and just goes.
yeah.
And as the case, you stand completely still. I need you all to roll sneak checks, please.
Neat. Okay. 10 for me.
With advantage, 18.
I got 2.
Okay.
I'm a big guy.
Well, I'm
Make
sorry.
is
Yeah,
not your thing.
y'all are gonna get advantage on this because she's.
Oh, we get advantage?
Yeah, she's telling you to not move.
Oh my
So
God.
do I?
don't
That's
know.
that's one of my keywords. Do I?
Yeah, you'll get
if
advantage
I-
too. But you if you want to try to get a 20, go ahead.
I just
I'm
rolled a
good.
20 on my advantage roll, actually.
Because you rolled an 18 already, Otis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
18.
rolled an 11 on my second one.
Okay. As that's the case, Sarai and Blake go completely still. They even kind of squat down, and they tell you,
I lower down. I follow suit. I assume
Mhm.
because
y'all do that?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm completely on the same wavelength with these two kids.
Okay.
I'm going down, getting stealthy.
And as that's the case, Sarai comes up, puts her hand on your lighter, and closes it, extinguishing the light.
And if she does that, then I want to look at her and whisper, I thought you said they're blind. They're blind.
she told you to be quiet.
Yeah. Okay.
But I whispered.
No,
she,
but you
she,
still
she
said
merely
it.
looks at you and just goes,
And you can't see her, of course, because it's pitch black in here now.
Hello? Answer my question.
as that, she taps Otis, she taps Rev, Blake taps Skag, and they go. And as
We
you
could see where they're pointing, right?
Yeah.
Obviously. Okay.
and as you guys look up, you can see white skittering bodies and shadows that are crawling on the wall faces above you.
What kind of bodies? Like,
White humanoid.
ooh, okay. That's
And
a little freaky.
They're climbing the sides of the wall and skittering.
As soon as Rev sees this, he grabs Otis and puts his hand over his mouth. I know he's going to start freaking out, so I immediately muffle this guy before he starts freaking out even more.
I'm muffled.
Skag puts it over Rev.
It's just the one line at this point.
Otis puts
The
it
little
over.
girl,
Otis puts it over Skag. It's like
We're just all this in a circle.
triangle.
We're the monkeys, you know, with the things.
Yeah, I cover Rev's eyes, and then he's got his mouth.
You do notice that whatever, it seems to be almost like a large cavern, a dome cavern, that is you can't get a sense of any kind of spatial awareness of how far it is to the other side, how high it is, but you do notice just above you, probably maybe like 30, 40 feet up, that you can see these white humanoid creatures skittering down, and you can hear them, and then they kind of like skitter off.
Now, when you say skittering, what I'm picturing is like the Grudge, pretty much, like where, because you said they're on the walls, right? Like on the roof. So they're like
climbing the rock faces.
So they're only using two hands. They're not like full bodied on it.
Like
four.
It's four. There's
okay, so it's like
yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I was thinking.
So it's Gollum crawling around on the wall above us.
Yeah. If you're trying to get some kind of real world application, probably
that's
Gollum
Lord of the Rings. It's not real, so.
Oh, that's true. I'm just
what
fantasy realm application. But that's what you guys are seeing.
Okay.
Sarai kind of comes in close to Rev, and she just goes. She whispers. She just goes. They're the ones. She goes. We have to be quiet. Follow.
Okay. All right.
So I put my hands over my own mouth.
I slowly take my hand away from Otis's mouth.
Who slides his own?
Puts his own hands over. And we look at it. I'd say we all like look at each other and we're like, okay, we don't want to mess with whatever we just saw right there.
Because those things freak me out, so I'm listening.
So Blake turns and looks at you guys and just goes, and he's almost like on his hands and knees, just going, like, follow him. Roll sneaks. I'm going to give you an advantage again because they don't have any sense of where you're at or that you're even there.
I got 10.
18.
Did you roll it twice?
Yes.
Talking to me?
Yeah.
But yeah, I got an 8 the first time.
7 was my best.
18.
Okay.
All right, Otis, we got it. You got 18.
I just want to remind Joe.
As Blake kind of continues to go forward and kind of goes off into the darkness, it's going to be a little bit tougher for you guys to keep up, except for Rev, who's obviously now in like night vision because there is no visible light.
I assumed it's because he rolled an 18. I don't know if you guys caught that or not.
so Otis kind of follows Sarai and Blake, keeps it close. Skag is able to kind of like do his best to kind of like stay with Otis himself. Rev, unfortunately, as he kind of like turns to move, some of his metal parts kind of hit to the ground and off a few rocks, and you hear a ching, 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 ching. And with that, Sarai and Blake turn, and they look up, and now you see all of them who are moving around have all stopped, and they are slowly converging onto the point of the sound.
So
man.
Oh boy.
Okay. Okay. Wow. I feel like I'm going to have to do something here.
Because they don't fully know where you're at, I'll let you guys decide what you want to do first.
Wait.
We can't really communicate with each other. We make a sound.
I have an idea. I want to do a quick action.
Okay. What would you like to do?
I want to pull out one of the rations I have, unwrap it, and throw it from far away from where we are in an opposite direction in hopes
Okay.
of them hearing it or smelling it or whatever and
Sure.
going there and
Okay.
leaving us.
Yeah, not a problem. Go ahead and just do an athletics to be able to just pull it out really quickly and just toss it.
Okay. Actually, this here. I got 7. Fuck.
Okay. So as you're pulling out your rations, all the rations themselves are wrapped, and as you're kind of like undoing the wrap because it's in the darkness itself, most of the sound is.
It's like that concert when somebody's opening a mint in the middle of a concert, and you're like, "It's the quietest part of the concert. Why are you opening a mint right now?"
You do
People eating in every movie ever.
you do kind of look, and now all of them have stopped their movement and start converging in this direction. Now that they're starting to come in, Rev, you do notice that it seems to be that you can get a visual beat on maybe 8 to 10 of them that were up there.
Okay.
And you do start to notice that these are, from what you can get a sense that they're maybe 7 to 8 feet. That the moment that they start to get closer and closer, that these are big and long.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Even though you can't get like a physical description of what
We
they
have
are, you do know that they're humanoid, and they're just scaling these walls coming down towards you.
And we have no idea how many there are.
Well, there's 8 to 10.
Only Rev knows at this point.
Okay.
He's the only one who can really take a look.
I feel like I want if they're all like on the walls. Are they kind of grouped together where they are? They're like spread all over the place.
They're all kind of all spread out, but they're all trying to converge into
the
point of sound, and now they're starting to move off.
I got it. These are exactly the creatures from The Descent. Have you guys seen that movie? They're literally white humanoids that are blind. That's what this reminds me of now. That's a good movie.
Well, what I want to do is as they're converging.
Wait, before you do that.
Sorry.
What did you want to do with the food that you're making a ton of wrap?
At this point, if I have trouble unwrapping it, I just want to throw it as hard as I can then. Because originally I wanted to get the food out and try to lightly toss it so there's no noise, but now I just want to see if you're just gonna hit it up against the wall. Yeah.
Okay, just roll athletics for me then, please.
Supercharge that throw.
I got a 7 again, man.
Okay. So yeah, you go to throw it.
And my arm goes limp.
You go to throw it, and as you do, it slips kind of out of your hand, and where you were trying to toss it to is literally just dropped like 7 feet in front of you.
Well, that didn't work. It's a good idea, though.
This is where I say goodbye, boys.
All right. What I would like to do is, as they're converging, they're slowly. I want to either whisper or something to get Otis and say, "Otis, grenade." I just want that 2 words, Otis, grenade. That's what I say to him.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Because there's no getting out of this, so I'm just like, we need something.
As that happens, as you kind of like say that, a very large doom thud as one of the beasts themselves pounces down about 5-6 feet in front of you on top of that ration that was tossed in front of you. He's now
kind of a disgruntled look, knowing that my food has now been for no use at all. There's a scowl in the dark, like I could have eaten that.
What you are able, actually all for you to see at this point, is a 7 to 7.5 foot humanoid lanky creature that is like albino white. They have yellowed eyes. You do notice that they have no ears at all, but almost kind of like slits that are in there. They have these very elongated, almost like predatorial like arms and legs. And they have very, very kind of like long fingers that you'd guess that are probably great for climbing and moving around, especially if they're just kind of like traversing up and down on these things. He starts to sniff at the the ration that is still within its wrapper, this kind of like almost like foil like wrapper. He starts to say, and he starts to smack at it. He starts to smack at it. He starts to growl and give out a howl, almost that's almost horribly dark and guttural. And with that, 3 more slam right next to him, and they all are kind of like sniffing the air.
They're closest to Stag, I assume, since he.
Well, you guys are all together.
Yeah, man, we're all in this together, okay? So you're not weaseling yourself away.
He threw it like 7 feet, so this is like 7 feet from us, right?
7 feet in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay. And the kids are still with us too, but being quiet. Oh, that's right.
You guys are all looking at these things.
We're all looking at these white things. We don't know what's.
Okay.
I'm still trying to whisper to Otis.
Yeah.
Grenade, dude! Grenade! They're grouped up there.
As far as I know, that I'm just saying this. You're out of grenades, are you not?
I have one.
You have one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wouldn't know that anyway. I've just seen this.
Yeah, right. But I'm
just saying it.
Yeah, just for his sake and for the information. For you to say it is like completely fine. I'm just saying that.
Okay.
Like I didn't think he had
So
any left.
Hearing Rev call for a grenade, basically.
Yeah.
I slide my hand to where I keep him on my belt, but I don't grab it because I'm trying to assess the situation because I'm not exactly sure that's a good idea at the moment. But you know, I want to be ready.
You want to be ready
for any. Yeah.
What are you doing, Skag? Now that you've seen.
Do I see Otis reaching for the grenade?
Is it safe to assume that you guys are all looking at the things in front of you?
Oh yeah,
More so that then you'd be aware of what each other are doing.
I feel like
I'm to assume that you probably heard him say.
Well, yeah, I'm saying if I heard him say it, wouldn't I naturally just turn to see?
You tell me if that's what you're doing.
I think in that case, yeah, I would look at Otis and I see that he does look like he's thinking about it. And and I put my hand on his chest, almost like a weight, and I'm gonna use one more ration. I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try to throw it as far away from us as I can.
Okay.
This guy and his 3 musketeers, man.
I know, this is my last bag of salted peanuts, guys.
Okay. Go ahead and roll sneak.
You gotta be shitting me! 7 again.
Okay.
Bro, this dice is loaded.
As you go to pull, as you go ahead to pull out another ration, and to slowly open it, Sarai comes up and puts her hand on it, and just looks at you and just goes.
Oh,
not today, Poppy.
She was there.
And she just does this, and
to Skag.
To Skag.
Okay.
As she does that, I understand she doesn't want me to throw it, and honestly, I let out a sigh.
Did we just lose him?
The tears kind of sigh, you know. Oh.
Well, Skype just crapped out on me.
Skype just went a little nuts for me for a second there.
Yeah, you guys just kind of like stopped there for a second, but you guys are back.
Okay. Right. Go ahead. Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just saying when she does that, I obviously understand not to throw it, and I let out the just tiniest like I'm relieved because I didn't want to throw my food.
Gotcha.
Fine. Okay. With that, Blake taps Otis and just goes.
And I let my hand down, and I guess I follow him, or I feel like he's motioning me, right?
Yeah, he's giving you motioning.
I'm with him.
Okay. And then Sarai definitely goes over to Rev, who's obviously like staring down these guys. And she taps him and she just goes, hurry.
Okay. Man, I was itching for a fight, man.
Oh. I don't know if I have it in me.
I was going to say, I feel like we would be outnumbered in the dark, outgunned, who knows?
Well, I assume we're all close to pretty beat up, at least, yeah.
Well, I guess, can I have an out-of-character question real quick? We've been sneaking around in this place. Have we been able to recover any exhaust while we've been going through here at all?
No. You only ever get natural exhaust if you are doing actions and you're spending actions, or you actually take a rest.
Plus, at this,
Okay.
out of character as well. I feel like in this situation we have been constantly moving.
You're also
from
constantly
get-go.
moving as well. Yeah.
So
Okay.
there was no time to even rest and kind of really
Right.
take our breath. Like the only
Okay.
moment we had was those kids, and which was very brief before we scurried.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. That's...
Go ahead and roll sneak to see if you can get away from this. You just get the sense they're beckoning you to just keep moving. That they might seem to be, preoccupied with the smell of the ration.
With advantage 10.
Do we do
6.
with advantage or no?
I have advantage.
He's the only one who has advantage.
Oh
Everybody has
yeah,
a normal.
and they probably
Well,
did
as-
hurt us
at
by
this-
now. I have a
Yeah, they get a sense that you've made enough noise that I can't give you advantage for any of those.
Yeah.
I rolled a 12.
Okay.
Okay. I think is the dot on the bottom right. Is that a 6?
Means
That's the
6.
bottom. Yeah, it's a 6.
It's a 6.
Okay. So that's I got a 6.
Okay. So
It's almost like the surface for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So Otis is able to pick up and start to move away, as well as Skag. For some reason, Rev is just having a really hard time being as sneaky as possible.
Our
I can't
sneak
contain
master
myself.
robot
I'm
is
like-
broken.
I'm like wanting to fight these guys.
So
man, but-
as he kind of like wants to fight them, and Sarai kind of like taps on him, he's in a stance to almost pounce, and as he does get up and move, his foot slips, kicking up and sliding dirt. And immediately as that happens, all of them, out of the 4 that were right there in front of you, turn and snap directly towards Rev.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I know I'm like in fight or fight and protect mode. I just say run, and I go right at those 4 whatever these things are. I charge them. I
Aren't
say
you
run.
so more
I'm
aren't
gonna
you so
be
more-
the distraction to get these kids out of here. So I'm beelining. They see me. I'm going right at them. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
All right. At this point, then
This is what you see. Rev pulls out his Nagata. He stands up, screams out, "Run!" And then charges into the fray of 4 of these albino beasts.
at this point, I'm assuming because I was close suit with Otis, right? I'm pretty close.
Yeah, you're essentially
All right.
Otis would be in the front. You're in the middle, and then Rev.
At this point, then what I'm gonna do is kind of hit his back, like not like a hard one, but just like a tap, and I'm gonna say, "Take the kids, run," and I'm gonna go with Rev.
And
man.
I assume
had-
I run after the kids because
Yeah, I
they're
have
faster than me.
I know that Rev doesn't have a lot of exhaust, and I do, and I don't want him to die.
I mean, I instantly start running when I hear Rev say run. I'm just
Okay.
Was it even a
fleeing.
second
Yeah,
thought,
no
right?
fighting.
The moment they do
Okay.
No
that,
second thought.
Sarai and Blake immediately try to run, and then they stop the moment that they hear Rev to essentially do his shout out what he said into to some kind of battle cry, and goes into the fray.
The kids stop.
And
Oh my
Sarai
gosh.
actually yells out. She goes, "No!"
No, Daddy, no.
oh no, she said it. Oh no. I ran.
Okay, so yeah, Blake.
Otis is like, I ain't stopping for no damn kids.
Yeah,
I'm listening to Rev.
Blake is kind of takes off. And he's almost like, he's almost kind of like dragging you, to kind of pull you along. He doesn't know. He's already like you and him have already kind of taken off before Rev decides to do this. You hear this and kind of, I guess I'm to assume you would just turn around, just going like, "Whoa, whoa," like what? Like really taken back and stunned by this. Okay, Rev.
Yes.
These
Boy.
4 beasts get up onto their hind legs
Okay.
and tower and they just unleash these bellowing roars out to you.
Okay.
Okay, that almost it kind of like shakes the very fiber of you because they all do it in unison.
Okay.
As that's the case, you start to hear massive skittering from above.
So I'm hearing
Like
more of
almost-
these things.
Like almost a stampede of
Oh.
this was a call, this was a cry for more to
No.
come.
this was a bad idea. That's what it was.
Well, okay. As an aside, my plan was to attack and then mirage so that I'd,
Kind of like a
sneak
hit and
away
run.
from these
Hit and
guys.
run.
Yeah, I was going for a hit and run, and then Skag had to be all,
I know Skag had to care about his friend. Stupid.
So, wow.
Through everything you guys have gone through and everything that Skag has actually attempted to do and failed to do, this was the moment where he just goes, leave with the rest of them. I will stand here with my friend.
It's time for me to be a hero. Oh, this is not how that was supposed to go?
No, I was going to attack one guy, run, and activate my mirage to get out of there.
Skag is like, this
From
is
now
my
on,
moment.
We're trying to not fight in dark places where we can't communicate. Because otherwise you got Skag throwing food and trying to be the man.
I feel like the planning wasn't prepared for super white crazy worm golems that we were going to fight these guys. So
yeah, you definitely hear it like from above, because you can kind of get a sense of from some sort of like maybe like hole or from kind of like some cave openings or something like that others are kind of like filtering in. The best way to take a look at it is when they're in Moria, and all the goblins are kind of filtering out.
Okay.
The moment that he roared, obviously the community of these things are starting to filter in.
Okay. So when they stand up and roar and I start seeing all these things, I stop my charge because I'm like, I know I'm out of my depth. Mm-hmm. So I still have this idea that I want to lead these things away from these kids that are, vulnerable. So I want to turn to Skag and say, grab Sarai and follow Blake. Get out of here. I'll lead him out of here. I want to just yell quickly, grab her and go. I'll lead them
out of the character. I just want to say I love you for that, because that was my literal thought with the stampede. At this point, I was gonna think we should just grab these kids and run.
Yeah, I want to tell him to grab and run because I feel like these things need a target to not follow us. So I want to be that
you
target.
Tell Otis he's already running. So.
Yeah, Otis is gone. So you grab Sarai and get out.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. I want to grab Sarai and run towards where Otis and Brandon.
Blake.
Okay. So
you're not good with kids.
Obviously, you just kind of scoop up.
Good try.
You kind of scoop up Sarai and you start, you're not very sneakily in any way, just making a beeline and trying to get away. Okay, Rev, what are you gonna do?
My plan is to. What I want to do is use my I've walked too many moons, charge the closest one to me, which knocks them back, and then run the opposite direction that everybody else went. So I basically am charging them to get their attention and then running to get them to chase after me.
Okay. Well, go ahead. You go roll your attack. You're not going to get advantage.
Right. So I need to roll a d6 to see if I actually hit with the charge. Okay. Oh, I rolled a 1.
Okay.
Oh,
as you kind of scoop
as
up,
Skag runs, he yells goodbye.
Skag, as you kind of like scoop up Sarai and you start to run off, you turn back to kind of see Rev just jump and charge into the fray. As he does, he just trips and falls and just lands face down on the ground in front of him. As now these things have come down and just start to walk and loom over the top of Rev.
Okay.
I wanna do an action, kind of weird one. Since I saw Rev fall, what I want to do is actually book it towards him.
So you're turning back around.
Yeah. So what I'm doing is I want to turn towards him and because I'm a big guy, just grab him real quick from the back of the shirt or whatever and pull him up. And as I get him on his feet, just kind of give Sarai to him. And then I want to lunge at the creatures, but not in like a guns toting way, but I want to like throw my body weight onto them to try to bowling pin them
down?
can. Yeah, if I can to at least try to stop them real quick, which hopefully will give me enough time to still scurry up to my feet and run as well.
So as you, I'll let you absolutely run back and try to make an attempt to go get him. Go ahead and roll athletics.
10.
Okay. And yeah, you're able to run over there. It's really close. You kind of shove your way in. They're almost kind of pouncing on top of him. Go ahead and roll strength if you can. See if you can get him, pull him up.
2.
Okay. As you do that, your foot slips and you and Sarai fall. Right,
It's a slippery cave.
Yeah, you don't fall. You don't fall on top of him. You just kind of like fall to the knee.
Is this like a moss-filled cave or something? So at this point, we're both, all of us.
It's probably because you're trying to get in there and pull him while they're trying to hold him down and trying to pounce on him. You're trying to do something simultaneously with another action.
So at this point, we're just all on the ground.
Well, you try to pull him up, and you kind of lose your footing, and you kind of drop to a knee with Sarai in your hand. Rev is just on the ground.
Yeah, I tripped and.
Wait, how close am I to Rev, and how close are these guys?
No, you're right next to Rev. You tried to pick him up.
Okay, and then I thought so, but how close are the guys? Like, are they right?
They're on top of you at this point.
At this point, since I haven't fully fallen and I have still a knee, I want to take out one of my guns and just try to do pretty much a quick shot.
You won't be able to do that.
I can't use my
because
shooter?
Because you picked up Sarai and you have Sarai in one hand and you reached down to use
but that's how I fell. So am I still just holding him?
No, but you fell down. You're not going to be able
You said I fell on a knee,
do that, and then pull out a gun in the same time. You're not going to be able to get that done.
At this point, then I'm going to have to move on. There's nothing to do. Just accept my fate and die. Hopefully, just wish that it was the girl that goes first.
Like if you want to try, I would give you that if you want to try to pull your gun, but it'd be another thing for you to pull your gun and do an action. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, well then I'd like to at least try to
have the gun to
pull the gun,
sure.
to ready it. What should I roll for that?
Otis, what are you doing?
Well, Blake
stopped
immediately, or
yeah, you take off about maybe like 30-40 feet. The moment he kind of hears all that, he turns around to notice that Sarai is not with you.
Is he just blank? He's not saying anything. It's like a statue.
Yeah, he's literally just kind of like looking out, thinking like what to do.
Kid, what's wrong, kid?
She goes, "It's my sister. I can't live
What about
without
her? You want to go back?"
And he literally just like looks at you, and he just goes, "Yeah, we have to save them."
So we go back. I start running back in that direction.
Okay. With that, as you guys, I guess you guys are running back, and his whole thing is he's trying to get back to his sister. Sarai. You don't get the sense that it's like the secondary would be to save everybody.
Yeah.
But he's not going to venture forward without his sister. And as you guys are kind of running, he stops you, and he reaches out from a pocket that he's had on his side, and he reaches out, and he hands you what you look at, and you know is a flash grenade.
Sweet.
And you remember in your mind Rev saying earlier, "Otis, grenade." I'd like to say it now into my
Otis turns to him and says, "Thanks, Brandon."
How far away are we from them, would you say?
Are you if your action is just to run back and get back to them, then I would probably put you on like 10 feet away.
Okay, and
they're not looking at you. They're now starting to pounce on Skag and Rev. What are you doing with Sarai? Skag, are you trying to like use your body to protect her, keeping her kind of close?
She's just in my arm like this.
He hands me the flash. I grab it, and without any thinking, I throw it at the tussle going on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do apologize. It's not a flash grenade. It's a sonic grenade.
Oh, God.
So
Sure.
it makes just a big sonic boom sound to disorient, like a concussive.
Would I know it's a sonic grenade? Like
Yeah,
once he
for
hands
you,
it to
for
me?
you, absolutely. You'd be able to take
Oh,
a
okay.
look at it and just go, "Oh, I work with these all the time. I even make some of these."
Can I
You
ask
do
if
you
it
do
does?
know that this is like military grade though, so it's not like black market stuff. You don't
It's
even know
real
you don't
deal.
even know like how
Oh.
old this is.
It just hit me too. I was like, a flash grenade would be so much better, but they're
Yeah.
blind.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that doesn't
that's
matter.
why I apologize.
It
I
would
didn't
just
mention
screw us over.
it. It works like a stun grenade, like a sonic stun grenade.
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna throw it at like towards. Are they all? They're pouncing down on them.
Yeah, you
Coming down
Are
on 'em.
you looking up to see, or are you just worried
Yeah.
about them?
There's some on the ground about to pounce on us. And then
I'm
there's
looking.
some
I want to look at the What are they called? What are we calling them?
beaters.
The feeder. Yeah. I want to look. I want to see if I can see the feeders.
Okay.
Like standing around
They
or
are
pouncing.
funneling from the top down, and you
Okay.
do note into the distance that some of them are dropping down into the ground. There's 4 that are right over the top of Rev and Skag, though. So they're in the 100% vicinity. The
I'm gonna pull the
others are
pin.
coming.
I'm gonna pull the pin and I'm gonna like underhand, but right up into the air, so it kind of
Oh, you're
Like
cooking it.
a big
falls
big
above 'em.
radius.
yeah.
Okay, I'll let you
And
go
that's what
ahead
I'm
and
going
just
with.
go ahead and roll a d20.
Oh please,
Come on, get a roll. Come on.
that's a 15.
Yeah, because we're going to do with athletics for you to make sure you can make the toss. Okay, so with that, you press the button, kind of arm it,
Okay.
and you make a toss up into the relative radius, which you would guess that would be able to affect as many as you possibly could. With you doing that, we'll go to Rev.
Mm-hmm.
Rev, you don't know that Blake and Otis have come back.
Mm-hmm.
You're starting to feel just the pounding and the snapping of jaws are trying to attack you. So I want you to roll initiative roll reaction and roll reaction, Skag, because you're going to try to fight your way out of this if you can.
I'm sorry. Is that D20? Is that a reaction?
Yeah, it's always
Yeah.
a d20 minus
Okay.
your reaction modifier.
Okay, cool. So if I rolled a 12, my reaction's -7, so I guess that's 5.
It's 5.
And I did an 2.
You rolled a 2?
No. I rolled a 9. My minus is 7 as well, so it's 2.
Oh, wow. Okay, so
That's awesome.
Skag is going to go first. I will let you take a shot if that's what you want to do for an action. You have 2 that are coming. One is now almost completely like pinning down Rev. The other 2 are trying to slash at you and Sarai, and the other one is as well kind of like trying to scratch and claw at Rev, who's down, who's kind of like trying to block and fight them off as best he can, even being on the ground.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Hellfire and Brimstone because I can shoot multiple enemies with that. So,
Okay, so you just gonna
my
go
goal
point
is
blank on this.
my goal is to try to not just focus on one. At least, even if I hit or miss, maybe the sound, if it's close enough, will stutter
Okay,
that
sorry,
back.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Just being this
Um,
close, you definitely.
yeah.
If you even put your gun up to their ear and fired it.
Especially since they're blind, they won't see it coming.
Yeah.
So, and that's a D6, right?
Yes.
Oh shoot! Hold on. I rolled a 3.
Damn.
Okay. Well, remember you're doing 4 shots.
Oh,
you roll
yeah,
per
that's
shot.
right.
So the first
3.
one's a misfire. Click.
4.
Second one is a misfire. Click as they're all trying to like hold your gun down. They're
This one's a 3, and out loud I say, I'm gonna trade in these fucking guns when we get back. This is the last one here. 3.
okay. So, he goes to pull out his gun. He's intent, if anything, to deal as much damage to these things that are right in front of his face. But at every shot that he attempts to attack, with lightning fast reflexes, they kind of just slap his hand away. Unfortunately, every time he does it, it's causing misfires. He's not even getting shots off. Every time he does it, it causes his trigger finger to slip off. Misfire. Another one misfires. Another one misfires. Unfortunately, you try to do. Rev is actually hears 4 clicks, misclicks, click, as well as Skag, almost kind of like trying to fight these guys off just to get these shots off. You know, you can hear that there's a physical tussle that is going on behind you, as Sarai is now screaming to let her go.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay. I am enraged by these things attacking this little girl. I don't care about Skag so much. This little girl is being attacked by these things.
I'll remember that next time you run into the fray.
So I would like to, since I'm getting like beat on by these things, I would like to try to, which Matrix is it when he's fighting all the Agent Smiths and he like does the whole,
Oh,
get knocked back?
that's Reloaded.
Is that Reloaded? I would like to try to just use my cybernetic strength to push them all off me to try to grab her and go. That's what I want to try to do.
The Matrix is my favorite movie.
So
series.
you're just trying to do a strength.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to do a strength roll to push them off me so that I can grab this girl who's in danger to try to run with her.
Go ahead and roll against me on a strength.
Okay, that's D20, right?
Yep.
Yes. And if I have strength, I get to advantage, right?
Roll it twice, correct?
Yeah. Oh, my highest was a 14.
Oh man.
Oh,
No, damn.
And my second was
Dealer wins.
So, yeah.
So as you try to just explode with cybernetic and physical energy to try to get these guys off you, they just all drop and play, you know, because they're all on top of you at this point. You can just feel the weight of them now on top of them, trying to snap at your neck and trying to bite you and attack you. There's no room for you to explode, to release any of this energy, and you just feel like you're being pinned and shoved into the ground themselves. Great. You start to feel the deep bites into your shoulder now, as they're trying to gnaw and rip away and tear at you. With that, they're going to attack you.
Okay.
You are prone and down, so you are at disadvantage. So
okay.
They have advantage with you.
Okay.
Okay, and they hit. And one comes down and makes a bite on you.
Okay.
You will take 4 points of damage.
And I do have three armor rating.
Okay,
just,
so you only take 1.
Take 1, okay.
You take 1 point of damage, but you are currently poisoned.
Okay.
So you start to feel a corrosive poison start to seep into your veins as one of the bites kind of sinks down into your shoulder blade.
Okay.
The other one is going to attack you as well, Rev.
Oh wait, I'm the one who.
You're the one
who got bit.
No, Rev is. They're attacking Rev.
Yeah, they're attacking me because I tried to bust out and I failed.
Yeah, 2 guys are trying to attack him. The other 2 guys will attack you. So,
okay.
Yeah, they're attacking him because they were on top of him.
Okay, I forgot that there was 4, so that's why I thought you meant Skag for this one, and then I got confused.
No. You'll take.
I confused easily.
You got hit again.
Okay.
So it's a 1d6 plus 2, so you'll take 5.
So is that 5 minus my 3 armor, or
always minus the 3 armor? So what are you taking?
I could take the 2 there. Okay.
Okay, and as well as you feel kind of an increased amount of poison kind of seep into your what is left of your physical self.
Okay, plus poisoned. So
okay, the other
does poison stack, or is it like
no? It's just gonna like if you want to try to save out of it at 2, it's gonna take 2 save rolls at this point.
Oh, okay.
The other 2 are now going to turn and they're going to start to bite and attack and try to pin. Number 1's going to try to knock and pin down Skag, who's now holding Sarai. So we're just going to do a strength check. So roll a strength check against me because he's going to try to lunge and throw you down.
too.
Okay. Yeah, without any problems, he just kind of jumps and pins. He essentially pins you almost on top of Sarai herself. She slips just off to the side as he's now on top of you, as his other friend decides um, to take an attack directly at your face.
Not the face.
You're on the ground and it hits,
That's all I had going for me.
and you're gonna take 7 points of damage.
All right, so that'd be 4. Now I'm at
And
10.
you do notice that after he does kind of swipe at you, that your vision starts to go hazy and blur.
Like as if he hit my eye, or am I poisoned as well?
No, it starts to get hazy and blur and starts to darken.
Thanks for saying it exactly the same, pretty much.
You're going blind.
I understand.
Okay. As that happened, as all these things are kind of transpiring on top of you, you hear what sounds like the best way just goes, "Zoom." And in seconds, just like almost like a sonic resonance, everything goes completely silent, and just a wave of just like concussive power and just silence just kind of hits you and slams these things off of you as well as yourself. You're almost tumbling away.
Yeah.
Trying to grab yourself. You do feel that these things have let you have come off of you. Like the weight is gone, but you're almost like thrown up almost against the sides of the walls, slamming up against them.
Sarai, come on!
We
I want to
can't
call out
hear a
for
thing, man.
Sarai.
Yeah,
You just
you're not.
knock out
They're not
my
able to
sensors.
hear anything.
That's fine.
Anything.
I'm calling Sarai's name.
You see this, Otis, that there was a large group that was coming that way. Initially, just gets thrown back into the darkness. Some get tumbled and get knocked down. The 4 that was right there gets slammed up against the other side of the wall. You even kind of feel it as well. Go ahead and roll an athletics to see if you can try to hold you and Blake in place.
10.
Okay, you were just enough as you're being almost pushed away by this concussive. You almost feel like you want to pass out or be even knocked out. You're just trying to keep like the G forces that are being imposed on your body. You're just doing everything to try to like hold on, knowing what this possibly could do. You do know that this is like high grade concussive stun. Like this is stuff that you don't even make. Like this thing is ripping through this cavern itself, slamming everybody in disregards to who they are up against the wall. You see Rev, who's like pinned up against a wall. He's got one of these albino beasts slammed up next to him, as well as Skag kind of flips over as well, the whole time trying to hold on to Sarai and trying to keep her safe if he can. What do you want to do, Otis? As you kind of like come to, you kind of shake things off, and you kind of see you're almost having a little bit of blurred vision as you kind of like shake it off, you just kind of see what is the battlefield themselves, and you just see a bunch of strewn bodies as well as the bodies of your friends there.
I
Blake is a bit disoriented as well. Like he had no idea, like that was gonna be that big.
Okay, I want to kind of like lightly slap tap Blake on the shoulder and kind of point towards Skag, but then I want to take off and head towards Rev.
Okay.
Me myself. Yeah.
So you're telling like Blake to go over and try to help them if you can.
I'm not saying anything because we're all weird,
Right.
basically. So I feel like I'm coming too, but I kind of want to get his attention and kind of point.
Okay.
Or direct
and that's
him.
where Sarai is too. So you're like,
Yeah,
look at the sister and that guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
and
why
I'll
I'm
get
pointing
Rev
at
kind of
Skag.
thing.
That's
Okay.
why I'm
Yeah.
pointing at Skag. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, with the Blake immediately gets what you're trying to tell him. With a bit of ounce of courage that he sees from you, from coming back to try to help, he just goes, okay, and he goes and bolts and tries to go get Sarai. As he does that, he's trying to. Skag is kind of coming to as well, feeling kind of groggy. He's trying to like shake you, Skag, trying to like
I feel like Skag at this point would be like almost completely blind because I already can't see.
He doesn't know that. He's
Well,
just
no,
trying to help you.
because when the sonic grenade went off, Otis already had blurred vision. So if you add that with already my
You
message,
mean you already had blurred vision? Because you said Otis.
You said Otis though. When you said the sonic grenade went off, you said it gave him almost like a blurred vision.
Right. The disorientation, right?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. If he's that far away and it happened to him, and I was closer, and I already have blurred vision, wouldn't that just make the vision even worse?
Yeah,
so
but I'm merely saying that Blake is running up and he's shaking you. That's all I'm saying.
At this point, I would assume I know it's the little kid, and I would just let go of Sarai, but I can't see.
Right.
So I'm just gonna let her go and just kind of try to wipe away or do something.
Okay, Rev, what are you doing?
I am completely disoriented because that sonic grenade just fried out my sensors. I'm trying to. I also got poisoned, so I kind of want to. I want to try to recover. I want to try to shake off the poison, shake off the disorientation. That's all I'm trying to do is shake everything off.
Okay.
Trying to get up and shake stuff off.
Otis, as you kind of run up to Rev, you see
Rev.
Yeah, he's trying to get up onto one side, almost to a knee, and you just see him just kind of like slowly trying to shake something out.
Yeah.
I'm running up to him, shouting his name, Rev, and not shouting. Shouting. I'm gonna kind of slide in under his arm and kind of crutch him, and I want to start going in the direction that I was originally going when I was told to run. That's my intent, is to try to work as a crutch, help him get up and go.
Not any problem. You're in a much better situation than he is condition wise. You slide in there, you just kind of pull him up, and you just kind of like tell him, and essentially you're just guiding and dragging him like, we need to go.
We're going this way. Come with me. Let's go. But it's more crazier. That I just want to go as far as we could get going. That's all I got.
Okay. As you kind of do that and you start to take off, Sarai is working with Blake to help get Skag up onto his feet. Skag, you're still having almost like this double vision. It's not getting any worse, but it's not getting any better. And all you kind of do is you kind of feel the two young children's hands guiding you to just like you're gonna have to almost like taking a leap of faith here that they're gonna be able to kind of guide you out of this situation. So you just feel both of them holding your hand, just going, "Come on, this is our chance. We have to go."
Well, at that point, I'm assuming I'm just gonna run with them, whether I can see or not.
Okay. As that's the case, go ahead and roll a d20, Rev. Let's see how bad this poison's gonna get you.
Is this am I rolling with any keyword or anything?
Nope.
Just a d20? Okay.
Yep.
Holy crap, I rolled a 1.
Okay.
Oh, motherfucker.
Take your movement speed is cut in half, so he's going to be even
20.
tougher for you to carry, as well as you're going to take 2 damage that
from the poison.
Yeah, that you cannot use your
armor on.
Your armor on. It's now just pumping through your veins.
All right, take 2 more damage. Gotcha. I'm at 22. Okay.
For roll a d4. Skag. 1d4, if you could, please.
Yeah, I'm trying to find one. Hold on.
It's the triangle one.
They're all triangles.
Triangle square.
Oh boy.
What?
How do I tell which one it is?
It's the top.
It's the one on
the top.
Oh, it's the top. So top from me, like this way. Okay. I was like, they're all 3 of them. I rolled a 4, 3, 2, 1. 3.
Okay. So, you obviously your target's visible because you have essentially blind. Your target's visibility is hindered. So if you're trying to make any kind of attacks, you're all at disadvantage, and this is going to carry for 3 rounds for you before it's going to start to fade. Okay. So it's already been 1 round. So this is the 2nd round. So the 3rd one after that one, you'll be able to be at normal. They start to just now the two little kids are just in panic. You know, there's no more of trying to keep things quiet. They're just tugging and moving, and with Sarai and with Blake holding on to Skag, they bypass Otis and Rev like in a blaze. They're just moving. They're almost like dragging, just on pure adrenaline and strength. Skag, as he's just like doom 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 doom. Rev for some reason feels like a ton of bricks for you, Otis. Like he's kind of like lollygagging and dragging.
It's like I don't have legs. I'm just like
he's almost become a little bit like dead weight for you. Maybe it's just because of everything he's kind of gone through at this point, and not even knowing that he's got poison kind of pulsing through his veins right now.
Does he look beat up?
He
like
looks beat up. He looks beat up.
He looks pristine.
All right, so I have a skill, Saldarius Salve. Is that... I think that's just for myself. I think we determined that last time. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
I have a heal, but I'm not into a point where I feel like I have to use it yet.
But well, I was just... Yeah, I'm not going to go with what I was going to do, but he's a ton of bricks.
I just can't move. I am.
How far would you say we are from where the action just went down?
I'd say you're probably like 20, 30 feet. You guys are moving pretty good. They don't seem to be coming to. They almost feel like they've been knocked unconscious.
Okay. I want to continue, even though he feels like a bag of bricks, bag of rocks. I want to
like a bag of bricks.
Hey, you never know what you move bricks in. I still want to move, even if we're hindered. I'm still trying to get him as far away as possible.
As that's the kind of the case, everybody roll awareness really quick here, please.
Okay.
I got an 8. Oh wait, hold on. I forgot I do it twice.
18 for me.
13.
Okay. For especially like Rev and Otis, you get a sense that wherever they're taking you seems to be down a lot of small side caverns. Like you don't know if they're just trying to lose them or they're taking like shortcuts to get to somewhere. But it's kind of hard. You're getting a sense like you can almost navigate a bit, like if you had some light that you would know exactly where they're going. But sometimes you're able to pick up on where they're slipping into. Like they're there with Skag and all of a sudden they're like gone. And you get a sense that, they slipped down this little cavern that you didn't see there before. This kind of like little alcove that they're kind of going in and out of places that only... It seems like they were made for a certain amount of people. Skag is kind of really trying to just kind of shove his way through. He almost doesn't care of like what, like he's getting abrasions and scratches. He's just trying to shove his way in there, as well as they're just trying to pull him through there as well. As that's the case, and you feel like you've almost been running for like almost 5 minutes, just constantly. The two kids kind of like stop. They're breathing heavy. Skag is kind of breathing heavy as well. Your vision is starting to come back to you a bit, Skag. It's still a little bit blurred, but things are starting to be a little more clear for you, that when they start taking you down these side routes, that you're able to kind of navigate it without kind of like slamming into everything. That they kind of stop with Skag, as well as when you two show up, they stop to take a look and they point down to the right.
This is like through some little hallway, little side caves we've been going.
Side caves and hallways. They merely kind of point to the right for you to take a look at.
Okay. I'm still trying to recover, so I'm like, I'm completely out of it. My senses are overloaded from the sonic grenades.
I don't look. I just keep crutching us, and I crutch us through where they pointed, because I'm assuming that
you're not
they're pointing us in a direction to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not really too caring of what they're pointing to. You're just like, this is the direction. This is where we got to go.
I feel like they're pointing direction because I did that to Blake earlier. So
Okay,
maybe,
not a problem.
maybe.
What about you, Rev?
I am I am still completely out of it because of my senses being overloaded. I'm completely reliant on whatever Otis is doing. I'm just being carried around while I'm trying to get my head back
Sure.
into a place where I know what's happening.
Roll a d20 for me, please.
Okay. Holy crap! I rolled a 1 again. Jesus.
Okay. Take another 2 damage.
Okay.
As as you could still like your what is
About
left
that
is-
poison.
Yeah, what is left is your heart is still pumping this poison and toxin circulating through your veins.
Yeah.
Skag, do you kind of take a look down where they're kind of pointing and see if there's whatever that you can show?
At
You're
this
just trying
point,
to keep your-
I'm still trying to. I can barely still see.
Right.
Like you said, it's just enough that I'm not bumping in. So at this point, I see that he's pointing, but it's blurred. It's almost like I can just see what's in front of me. So I'm gonna take it as a direction as well and just continue going.
Okay, so you're just gonna wherever they kind of guide and lead you. You're just like I'm along for
They
the ride.
are my Navi, and I need
Your
them.
Navi. They're your GPS.
Hey, over there.
Okay. As they kind of point, and you guys just are just like wherever we're going, we're going.
Yeah.
They start to kind of like pull you. Rev, you kind of take a look, and you at the end you see a very very large in the distance, a large almost large metal door that's almost like 12 feet by 12 feet. It's almost like a gigantic vault door.
Okay.
That was kind of like it's not anything that was initially put there in the beginning. It looks like it was constructed to be there. Like you see plate metal over plate metal to kind of like seal this and put this together. Like this was constructed at the point. It wasn't something that was constructed outside and brought in from the outside or anything like that. And you see that they are guiding you towards this door.
Okay. Okay. Well, as we go towards this door, are there any like markings on it, like any runes or writing or anything like that? Or is it like
No.
plain steel or something?
Yeah, it is a thick steel that you get a look at that has been painted almost like the color of the surrounding walls, like a sense of a camouflage. It's
And
not
above it,
it's not a great camouflage at all. You can obviously see that it is a gigantic steel door, but you know that it was meant to be there. If somebody had walked past it, you wouldn't know.
Way above it, it says "Speak, friend, and enter."
And then you have to go up and just go Belloc.
Melon. Okay. Okay. Well, as I see this door, I kind of like slow down, and just kind of look at it, like I was completely not expecting to see something man-made in this cave that's just been like a mining cave. So I just
Are we right at the door?
You're coming up to it. You're approaching it. So
As
you're
we
seeing
approach
this
it-
as well, Otis.
As we approach it, I drop Rev because I'm tired of carrying him.
I just collapse kind of in awe looking at this door. Don't even care. Don't even notice that I've been dropped. I'm just looking like, what the hell is this?
Okay. Skag, you hear a thump behind you, and a groan like, "Whoo!"
I do. At this point, I just keep. I'm gonna barrel into the door without even looking back. Like I'm just gonna run and try to.
Banging on. Hey, let me
Yeah.
in. Let me in.
Pretty much at this point, my only goal is to get this door open first, and then see what happens.
Okay, sure, not a problem. Go ahead and roll the strength check.
11.
Okay, so as you're moving towards it, you kind of like you start to see what you assume is a door, and you let go of Sarai and Blake's hand, and you just make just a beeline towards this thing, just like in a barrel roll into this thing to try to knock it down. And as you hit it, you just hear a resounding doom, and Skag just goes doom, falls straight to the ground. You've successfully knocked yourself out.
Skag is the fucking worst, man. God, this guy can't do anything.
So yeah, Rev, you're on the ground. Otis, you're just like cuffing and puffing. You've been dragging this guy for quite
I'm
a
a
long
lanky
time.
dude.
Yeah.
I can't do this. Yeah.
Sarai and Blake kind of like are stunned that Skag has knocked himself out. They're just kind of like, and they they just go, oh, and they look at you two, and they go, oh. Just like, just follow. We'll be safe inside. Safe inside. And Sarai looks up into the corner, and what you do see is you see a small like a black mass that is sitting into the corner that is it's almost like has reflective in its glass, and she just does this, and Rev, kind of looking up at that as well as even Otis, you notice that it's a camera that's been hidden into the corner. And as that does happen, you start to hear tumblers, very large, heavy tumblers. And you see a big, large, circular, like, wheel kind of turn. And it starts to open up from the, not the inside out, from the outside in.
Okay.
Like normal doors
Away
here in
from
America.
us.
Yeah, away from you, so coming out that way. And you start to see, as it starts to open, streams of light that start to come in. It's almost blinding because you've been in the darkness for so long, especially because Rev has night vision on at this point. He hasn't turned it off. He's just completely blinded.
Yeah, I got to turn it off immediately.
And Otis, you kind of see the streaming light come in, and as it kind of opens up, you see just a large group of what would be almost like teenagers and children come shooting out, and they all come to get Skag and just drag him in. and a few of the older ones come up to you, and they grab hold of Rev, as well as Sarai kind of grabs hold of Rev to pick him up and try to drag and carry him in. And a few come up and just hold out their hands and try to lead you inside this protective haven.
Yeah.
It's heaven. We're going
Yes,
to heaven.
yes.
Follow the light.
I walk in. I follow slowly.
I have to run to the bathroom again.
Yep,
I'm sorry.
no problem.
I'll be
Go
right
ahead.
back.
Good thing he's unconscious.
Yeah, unfortunately he's unconscious. As you're kind of like led into this protective haven, as you look at it as, Rev is not feeling too good at this point. Go ahead and roll a d20 again, please.
Okay. I rolled a 3.
Okay.
Make me yak.
You take another 2 points of damage before an older a teenage gentleman kind of comes down, sits next to you, and he initially assesses that there's something happening with you, and
I'm bleeding green. That's something bad.
You feel a slight prick into the muscle of your arm as you feel like this injection gonna go into you, helping to stabilize you. Some of the children walk up to Otis, and they start handing him like drink and some food, and they sit him down and they start tending to some of your wounds, and you notice that they all seem to be very like caring and protective, comforting to you in this situation, that you were so scared and apprehensive about these other children that these are a group of kids that are all around like 7 to 13. And they all have the same afflictions. They're all like half cybernetic children.
They're good kids.
Like half cybernetic children.
Okay.
Some of them are obviously into their adolescence. You do notice, though, because you're essentially the only one who's not completely afflicted by anything super horrible, is there are no adults that you can notice. That they are all between the ages of like 7 and like 16.
So earlier I did overhear Sarai talking to Rev about Mother.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all did, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I noticed this. I envision we're just hanging out outside. Everybody's getting tended to. And is Blake near me?
No, he's no longer there. He's kind of gone off. Are you trying to get
Okay.
like a sense of your surroundings here or anything? Like
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I'm
Okay.
looking around. I'm realizing there's no adults, and I start mother, mother, mother. I just keep saying mother until
So,
someone.
like, different people.
Yeah.
Mother.
Yeah,
Okay.
it sounds confused, and
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. All the children who are out tending to you, they're tending to Rev.
Yeah.
Rev. Now you're kind of like sitting upright.
Okay.
Skag is kind of like coming to, and you do notice that you probably have like 12 or 13 around you. Some of them are just curious to see who are these people.
who I am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who are these people? Nobody's really like engaging in any kind of conversation. But you do know that they initially start tending to your wounds. They start giving you provisions. You know, they start trying to like clean you down. And as Otis is going like mother, Rev, you kind of take a look at your surroundings, and what you kind of see is just a very, very large, like open cavern that seems to be. It's almost like an echoing cavern that would be like something like a large cavern that you would like spelunk into. That is
Like with stalactites coming down, and that kind of thing.
And it's huge.
Okay.
It's gigantic.
Okay.
And in the middle of it, you see what is a long abandoned bore miner that probably bored into this point and long has been sitting there. It's now been repurposed to be living facilities, something that they can get, that they can house into. It's almost, it's like a makeshift fortified haven that has a very, very large freshwater source within the middle of it that you can hear the water flowing in from some other place that you don't know.
Like inside the vehicle, or like below it, like a
within the
lake?
cavern itself.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's in the cavern itself. You can hear in the distance like fresh water moving in and out.
Okay.
It seems to be about 300 yards high as well as long in regards to width. So it's it's 3 football fields length in distance. There are also like these makeshift hovels and homes built into the wall sides themselves. There are a few like these large like stone forges that fill the cavern with billowing smoke, as well as there's a nice warmth to this place, that there was a coldness in the caverns that you were in before. And then there's these heavy bore miners that are sitting in the center that have been long abandoned and being used as housing themselves.
And I just look around and I'm seeing all this, and I look to Otis, and I just look around and say, "What is this place?"
I have no idea. But where is mother? And I just say it out loud once.
And I'm
Well,
looking
yeah,
around.
what's
I'm like,
more?
I don't see any mother around
Once more,
here.
yeah.
I see kids.
Yeah. Everything that you see, Rev, is, again, just children to adolescent teenagers.
Yeah.
And
like,
all
I
of them
don't
have
know.
been dealt with the same afflictions.
Okay.
As Otis is like starting to call out, mother, mother, and he shouts it one more time. Into the distance, you see a large group of children coming from farther off to the end. And they're like moving in a large group coming your way.
Is this from where that broken down thing was?
From where that bore miner is in the
Yeah,
center.
from the bore miner. Okay.
Starts to move towards your way. And in this group, as it gets closer, you start to see a taller person looming from within this group, moving in this slow pack that is coming your way.
I walk hastily towards the pack.
It's like,
So you're like standing up to go towards it.
Yeah, I go towards it.
I think I think that's your mother.
I think so too. And I go towards the pack.
Okay.
I slowly get up because I'm still recovering from this poison, and I kind of hobble after him. But I'm definitely
you're still a little bit weak, but you don't feel like the poison coursing through your body anymore. You feel like you're stabilizing a bit.
Yeah, but I do follow because I want to know what's going on.
Okay. As that Skag is kind of like sitting up right now, but he's still just like hole in his head.
Yeah.
You know,
He's got the cartoon
Yeah.
little.
all the young children are just kind of like patting him, and they're almost like being like a little bit playful with him because he's so big.
He's Han Solo in the Ewok village, like. Hey.
As this small kind of like procession starts to get closer and closer, what you see is a woman that is standing right around 9 feet tall.
Steroids.
She's wearing a very long purplish dress with this long flowing grand trail that flows behind her. Her arms always seem to be tucked into to her sleeves themselves, so she's almost kind of like moving like this. That hides her gray, shimmering, elongated arms and fingers. She has a beautiful face with a long braided black hair, but large lidless eyes with silvery eyelids themselves. When she kind of walks up to you, it's almost in a very like majestic, royal manner. All these children are like holding her trail as she's walking. And when you do kind of get a side of it, you do see that she has very, very elongated legs and feet that allow her to stand so high. There's something that you would look at in regards to, she has all the features of a human, but she has been fused with alien DNA.
Is that typical? Don't know. Okay.
You don't know. Her eyes give away that the fact that she is heavily alien. That there's a part of her that she has these large eyes with these that are lidless, but they have this silvery glow and sheen to them. But
I'm totally seeing Plava Laguna from Fifth Element.
Fifth Element?
The big,
Yeah.
the opera singing alien. Yeah.
When she actually kind of gets almost right up to Otis himself, and now Rev, who I'm guessing is standing right next to her.
Yeah, I'm coming up next to him. Yeah.
You do see that she has no visible ears, that there's actually no visible nose as well, only just like 2 slits here. Her ears probably are covered by her long flowing braided hair. You just don't know. She doesn't even speak to you, but you can hear her voice inside your head.
Oh, wow.
When she walks up to you, Otis, you initially feel a sense from her face that there's compassion and peace in it, something that you haven't had in quite some time. So when she
almost
looks,
like it's foreign.
right, it's completely foreign to you. It's something that you kind of pick on initially. She looks at you, and she says, "I'm Mother. Who are you?"
This is in my head, right?
This is in your head.
Okay.
But the thing is when she says it, Rev hears the exact same thing.
Okay.
As well as Skag, who's still sitting on the ground.
She says, all she says is, "I'm Mother."
She goes, who are you?
I am Otis, son of Garth.
She merely nods. She goes, "Well met, Otis, son of Garth."
And I say, "I am Rev. Are you taking care of all these children?"
She goes, "I am Mother."
So you had all these children?
She goes, "I did not have these children. They are the lost children of Saldaria. They are those who are without families, who have been tossed away."
Mother, do you have a place I could sleep?
She merely kind of like looks, and she smiles. She goes, "You are welcome here and protected. For you are those who were sent to watch over us as well, correct?"
And
I look at Rev.
Yeah, and I say, Soraya already asked, we never met with Rose. We came here to escape some other bad men.
She goes,
We're not here
"You
to
are
save."
not those sent by Rose?"
Oh, no. No.
Then
No, but we'll help you if we can.
Why would you
Who's
be?
Rose?
Why would you be here? Why would you venture?
I say out loud, that's what people on the outside of the world do. Like,
They-
because I understand that they're lived their whole lives out there. So I was just merely, I don't know how I would purposely phrase it, but I was pretty much saying like, people outside of the cave, they tend to venture around.
Mother looks at Skag, who's now probably gotten onto his feet at this point, and she goes, "So you're an adventurer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
may I ask,
Not a good one.
what adventure brought you deep into these caves?"
I'm not gonna lie, out of character, I forgot the.
We
I
killed a
remember
bunch of things.
it was Ridley who initially wanted us to go there, but I forgot what the luring promise was for.
All we were here for was to protect the mining facility.
Oh,
so-
okay. Okay,
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot like what the original plot was. Then yeah, I would just follow up with what Rev just said, just that we were enlisted as a.
Say we were
protection-
hired for a job.
Yeah, we were hired for a job. They let us here.
You were hired for a job in the above world, the surface world. By
Yes.
whom? By those who seek to destroy us? To eliminate? I thought I said eliminate. To eliminate all the children of Sodaria?
By those who are
To
out
those
to
who...
eliminate me.
Why would they be after you? Otis, son of Garth.
Well, I'm actually pretty important.
On that note, Otis, why were we almost attacked for you? I'm still in the dark here.
Yeah. About that.
And
Any
I'm going to say to Otis, did you know Ridley before that job?
I did not know Ridley, but Ridley said something very interesting about where I'm from.
What did he say?
He's got some He has a contract on my head.
Now, Otis, why would a man as awful as Ridley have a contract out on your head?
How did we get all wrapped up into this? What is this?
You
Yeah,
hear,
Otis,
you
I
hear
think
the
you need
sound of
to-
Mother's voice in your head. Just go, I think you gentlemen have things to work out. Luckily,
Stay out of this, Mother.
luckily, you're safe here. For now.
Luckily.
And before she walks
I
off,
tried to
does
ignore the
anything
other
else,
two.
Yeah, I want to say to Mother, I know we weren't brought here by Rose, but I promise you I will do everything I can do to help you. That's just what Rev would say.
And she looks at you and she just goes, "The children and I thank you, but unfortunately you will not be enough."
I point to Skag. I say, he needs a bath.
I accept that and I say, actually, Mother, yes, that is true. Is there somewhere that I could shower?
She goes, "Unfortunately there are no showers here, but
What
there
kind of
is
hotel is this?
there is a fresh water supply, and we could heat the water for you, of course."
That would be much appreciated, Mother.
Luckily, Sarai and Blake have told me that you are trustworthy, and that you did what you could to protect them.
Well, Mother, I hate to say
Yes,
it.
I
but
did.
I like how I was about to say, oh, it was actually Rev. Otis trying to like, yes, it was. It was all of us.
We were all trying to help so hard.
Not once did we ever question them.
I'm sure you talked to young Blake and you knew I helped save the day.
You're welcome.
Love Otis so much.
She looks to you, Otis, and she goes, "Of course you did. Otis, son of Garth, you have a good heart."
Indeed.
And she looks at Skag. She goes, "Unfortunately, we haven't been properly introduced. I am Mother, and I do know that you are Skag."
Yes. I'm Skag. I'm sorry to not properly introduce myself. Is there anyone who could possibly bring me to that fresh water supply? I have some wounds that I need to tend to.
She goes, "Worry not." He goes, "There will be those who will take care of all your wounds. You will be properly taken care of here."
cool, because I'm pretty sure that door gave me a concussion.
We'll make sure that, again, we'll make sure that you're properly taken care of and watched over. Unfortunately, we don't know how long that's ever going to be, for you have seen those that venture into the darkness as well, the hallowed ones. Have you not?
Were those white things with no eyes?
The ghosts, yes.
Yeah, we met.
We were
And then
probably
I took care of them.
Oh,
yes, our fearful leader here did all he could to protect the children. And then I look over at Otis and kind of like whisper, "Good going."
Just like,
We're making us look really good right now.
with that, Mother kind of like, she smiles, but she gives you a concerned look, and she just goes, unfortunately, these children are still in grave peril. Unfortunately, those who live above are trying to wipe us out.
Why?
yeah, why are you guys hiding down here? Is somebody after you?
I have a question too. How long, Mother, have all of you been here?
I have been here 150 moons.
You look great for your age.
And she smiles at you. She goes, thank you.
And then I look at Otis and I go, I can do it too.
And I go,
Son of a
150
bitch.
moons is like
Yeah,
5
what is-
months, you know?
Oh,
And she looks at Rev and she just goes, do you age differently on the surface?
How do you measure moons when you don't ever see the moon down here?
We have eyes within these caves everywhere. It's not like I have never seen the outside world. I used to be a
Okay.
part of it as well.
Okay. Well, I guess you can measure time then. That's good.
I just stare at her awkwardly.
I just feel like I'm just doing that to you now.
She looks at you and she just
Never
goes,
answered the
either
question.
way, take rest. We have much to discuss. I do know that you were not the ones that were sent by Rose, and my heart aches to not know where Rose is. The dear child is lost to the world. It has been almost 2 weeks since we have seen her.
2 weeks.
Unfortunately, it's been 2 weeks. She promised she would come back with help, and
Did she give-
here you three individuals stand.
Did she give you any details of where specifically or who specifically?
Unfortunately,
Anything we
no.
could work with here?
We trusted Rose.
Who was she supposed to bring back? Did you have somebody you were trying to find specifically?
Anyone that would be able to protect us from the
Does
larger
Rose
ones.
dress up as? Has Rose ever dressed up as like a evil knight riding a horse?
Otis, what are you on about over there?
And she kind of looks at you quizzically, and she just goes, I don't. I'm pretty sure no.
Yeah, I look at Otis and I go, I don't think those guys who chased us in here were Rose. Okay? There were four of them.
That was Rose's way of getting you in there. It's just like scare you into it. They're like,
Yes,
they won't take
Patrick.
this job if I told them about it. I'll just scare them in there.
that's not Rose. One of her
Okay.
sisters.
Mother,
It's not Rosie Palm and her 5 sisters there.
Right. Mother, can you back it up? Did you say larger ones?
Yes. The
So they're
the
also-
alphas. Those who have been modified and sent into these caverns by the surface world.
The ones that we dealt with were at least 7 to 8 feet tall, from what we can tell. How large are these ones?
We're talking 10 to 12. And they're much more aggressive.
Oh man. Yeah, you're right. We're not enough.
They're the larger ones who have been. The other ones, the hollow ones, relatively leave us alone. But the alphas, they're much more aggressive. It's like they were almost sent to destroy us. and they seem to work with the other ones to guide them to as leaders. Before they worked in a group, and they're cannibals. They eat anything they can, but these. She kind of takes a breath and sighs. She goes, many of our children have been killed, and maybe in the end Rose was a victim as well. Maybe she never did reach the surface. But now that you are here, we can only hope that you could help us if you can.
Obi-Wan, you're our only hope.
Who's Obi-Wan?
I could. It's a reference you wouldn't get. It's been too many moons underneath here. I can let you know that we did not come across, from what I could tell, on the path that we are on, any bodies. I'm not saying that Rose was not killed down there. I'm saying that at least there's hope, because we didn't stumble across anybody.
In the dark.
In the dark. Well, at one point, Otis here needed a nightlight, so it wasn't dark for too long.
She looks at you and she just goes, "Nightlight?"
I thought you said you were one of us.
She's an alien.
Now I'm starting to have conflicted feelings about this mother.
Mother walks up to you and just kind of places her hand on your cheek, and she gently strokes it, and she just goes, "Rest easy, Skag." And she kind of motions over, and a few of the children come over and kind of like grab you and kind of guide you over to the bath springs. She goes, "Rest easy tonight. We'll have much to talk about in the morning." She looks to Rev, and she just goes, "Let these children take care of your wounds. And as well, rest easy. You look tired and worn."
Thank you, Mother. You honor me.
Because I appreciate your bravery and courage as well to protect the children.
Anyone would do the same, Mother.
As well, as she motions to the children, they come over and they kind of lead you over to find a nice kind of like little like tent or hovel where you can kind of lay down and rest, and they kind of bring you kind of food and drink. And she goes, "Otis, son of Garth, the hero. A man full of courage and bravery."
Wait. I just want to say, I feel like I'm still within earshot when she says that. And I don't say anything, but to myself, I just kind of scoffed.
And she just goes, "You are a light to us. And for some reason, I truly believe that you were the one sent by Rose."
Otis, the chosen one.
She's in for a treat.
I mean, sometimes I hear voices. Maybe, maybe it was Rose. I don't really know. She didn't introduce herself.
Well, whether or not Rose actually sent you, you were here, and I believe that you came in our hour of need, and you will lead us to salvation and protection for these grandchildren. Otis, son of Garth. She goes, she merely just kind of like bows. She just goes, "Whatever you require."
Oh man, you're gonna give me that?
She walks up to you and she leans down and she places a kiss on your forehead. And with that, we'll end the session here tonight.
Awesome.
Otis is the clumsiest character, but he pulls, man. He pulls somehow. Always comes out a hero.
Otis is the man.
It's all about placement.
All right. And again, we want to thank everybody who'll be watching these on YouTube. Soon we'll be doing a live stream on Twitch. We'll definitely keep you guys informed on that. You can follow me on Mr. Shogii 3000 to get all that information. You can always find me in Ryan's stream as well, which is twitch.tv/ran118, and as well as the awesome Otis here, aka Burger, who is also on twitch.tv/burger_TV. And my son, as always, Eli, over here who is on Pornhub but is trying to clear his.
Yeah, it's not like I'm on it. Like
He's still trying to clear his browsing
He
history.
uses it.
I'm just
Yeah.
trying to clear my browser history. I can't figure it out. So I just want the world to know if it does get discovered, I believed in both sexes equally, okay? So I played fair.
Either way, again, we want to thank you guys for being a part here, being this great group. My name is Scott, aka Shogii. This game is called Horizons Unknown After Earth. And until we see you, we will see you again later. Thanks again, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Ciao, bitches.